this and possibly listening to us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds rather nervously. They are hoping that both the Czech Republic and Georgia lose this evening, or potentially a big win for the Czech Republic against Turkey and Georgia not to win might see Hungary through as well. If Hungary go through as one of the best third-place teams, then England will play the Netherlands in the last 16. But if one of the teams from this group goes through in third place from Group F, then England will play Slovakia. And by the way, that'll be in this stadium on Sunday, 5 o'clock kickoff. That will be appointment listing. And make the most of this next couple of hours tonight, Pat. There's no football, no Euros for the next 2 days. What are we going to do?
Unthinkable to try and fit in a game of golf.
Yes, well, we'll come on to that. Had a game of golf with Pat this morning, and I think Pat might be rather more pleased about the telling of what happened than I will be. 40 seconds in. Georgia 0, Portugal 0. Maz and Paul with eyes on the Czech Republic against Turkey. Earlier on in Group E today, Ukraine 0, Belgium 0, and Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Romania winning Group E, Belgium going through as the runners-up. They will face France in the last 16. What a mouth-watering tie that is. And Slovakia confirmed through into the last 16 as one of the best third-place teams. Portugal knocking the ball around very, very comfortably at the moment. Danilo Pereira plays the ball from inside his own half into midfield. This is about 10 yards inside the Georgian half. Georgia have barely had a kick as yet, and Portugal just trying to assert some control early on. Just over a minute play, they've given the ball away, and this is Mikatadze, who's running into the Portuguese half. He's played a great ball. Kvaratskhelia scores for Georgia in the second minute of the game. What a story we might have on our hands here, and what celebrations as well from Kvaratskhelia. And imagine what the celebrations must be like in Georgia as well. Can they pull this off tonight? They're off to a flyer. They lead Portugal, mighty Portugal, by a goal to 0.
You know what? They've had a kick of the ball. The Portuguese were calmly, almost lazily passing it about. And it was a lazy pass back there. The ball was played through, but there was lots to do. Mikatadze, he played it in, and before the ball had reached him, before it had reached him, he knew he was going to score. It was one of those ones. He's coming in at an angle. The confidence of that man, Kvaratskhelia, when he goes 1-on-1 with a good goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper in duo with Costa, and he just slides it into the far post. Well, we wanted a good start. We've got the one we needed for an exciting game.
Haven't even had time to get through the two team lineups. The table has already changed. Portugal still top of Group F on 6 points. Turkey on 4, Georgia on 4. That is because the head-to-head between Turkey and Georgia is in Turkey's favour, so Georgia won't be able to get beyond them, but they are now heading through to the last 16, and Hungary are going out. If Hungary go out, England will play Slovakia in the last 16. Fabulous finish from Kvaratskhelia, played in perfectly by Mikatadze, took one touch, he was on that 45-degree angle as he raced into the Portuguese penalty area and just drove it low across Diogo Costa and past his outstretched boot into the far corner of the net. And Georgia are racing around trying to win the ball back on the halfway line. So here comes the Portuguese build-up again. Danilo Pereira plays to his right. That's Antonio Silva. I think he was the one who played the loose pass.
And it was awful. I mean, it was really awful. There was nothing on, and we again go back to Scotland. Scotland had a loose pass in one of their games, and it only takes one loose pass in this competition.
Pedro Neto on a little dart down the left-hand side, deep swinging cross to the far post is beyond everyone. Diogo Dalot in an attacking position, sticks out a right leg, can't control it, and out it goes for the throw-in. So Georgia 1, Portugal 0. If you have just tuned in. And goalless between the Czech Republic and Turkey. Georgia, lots of men massed around the edge of their penalty area, playing forward to the centre-forward Mikatadze again. 2 attempted tackles on him, but Chakvetadze helps him out. Watford's Georgi Chakvetadze, little 1-2, he plays on the right with Kakabadze. And Georgia now just enjoying a modicum of possession in the early stages of this game. Cristiano Ronaldo tries to put a bit of pressure on the goalkeeper, Mamadashvili. Plays his pass away in time. Threaded ball forward, intercepted by Silva, just inside the Georgian half. Right it goes to the little figure of Francisco Conceição. Scorer in the first game against the Czech Republic. Son of Sergio Conceição, former Portuguese international. Porto boss, here is his young lad. Cross in with the left foot, headed away by Velesiani for Georgia, one of the 4 players to come into the starting 11 tonight. Played almost 5 minutes, and this game off to a shock start. Georgia leading Portugal by a goal to nil.
You know, talking about that, the goal again. Do you know, some players you see them go 1-on-1 with a keeper, and you're not sure, and just by pure body language, you look at some and you think, yep, that's going in the goal before you take your first touch. He was so comfortable there. And what a comfort they've now got. And by the way, well done, they're still keeping 2 men up top.
Yeah, that is Kvaratskhelia and Mikatadze as the attacking outlet for Georgia. All back in their own half at the moment. Portugal bring it forward with João Neves, the 19-year-old from Benfica. Back into their own half they go. Danilo Pereira plays to his left-hand side. João Felix gets on the ball for the first time, just lays it off to Neto. Neto comes scurrying infield, floated pass from Palinha away to the right, and a good leap from Lokoshvili to get high and nod that crossfield ball out for a throw-in to Portugal. They've got Diogo Costa in goal. 3 centre-backs, I think you'd probably say here, for Portugal, with Danilo Pereira, Antonio Silva and Gonçalo Inácio. Dallo and Neto, I guess, kind of in the wide roles, the wing-backs, Palinha and João Neves in central midfield, Conceição and João Felix in support of Cristiano Ronaldo, who finds himself and Portugal 1-0 down in this final group game. He's making a little move towards the ball here, corner of the box, good crunching challenge on Ronaldo. He holds his arms out, wants a free kick, doesn't get the decision. Georgia can't hold on to it, and Portugal have it again. Pat.
And one of the impressive things about Kvaratskhelia, when he was running away there, he showed a clean pair of heels as well. He's not just a good goal scorer, comfortable when he's 1-on-1. The pace to get him in there was very, very impressive too. So running away from defenders, it's another great lift it gets you. But since then, since the goal, once again, the Portuguese have got the ball, playing it around really nicely. But they knew that was going to happen at many points tonight, the Georgians. They'll be ready for it.
Czech Republic 0, Turkey 0. They'll have played about 7 minutes of that game as well. So at the moment, Georgia leading Portugal, heading through to the last 16. And England will be playing Slovakia in the last 16 in this stadium on Sunday. The game kicks off at 5 o'clock UK time. João Felix, little dribble, tackled. Chakvetadze passes back towards his own byline. Georgia have got to work hard to keep this ball in play on the right. They've managed to do that, and they play out with some confidence and comfort. That's lovely, up towards the centre forward. Mikatadze, floated ball down the right. It's beyond Chakvetadze, he can't get there. So Danilo Pereira will be able to bring it forward for Portugal. Next break in play, we'll check in with Maz and Paul on how that game has started in Hamburg.
It's worth underlining to the listeners how incredibly hot it is here today. It's phenomenally hot. Yeah. You see the way that Cristiano Ronaldo's running about there. He's putting some effort in early on, making a lot of runs, not getting a lot of the ball. That's a big ask in this weather. Looking for a little flick on the back heel, Ronaldo. Georgia have it inside their own penalty area. Velesiani clears with his right foot up towards the halfway line. Header is won by Inácio for Portugal. Georgia smash a ball into midfield. Kvaratskhelia leaps, controls it, passes back into his own half. Almost broke for Palinha, wasn't able to get away though. The hugely experienced Georgian skipper, Guram Kashia, their most capped player, in control of things in the middle of that 3-man defence. And away they come with the ball, the Georgians. Can they find themselves a second goal? That really would set Group F alight. To the right-hand side it comes. Kakabadze is trying to get away down the right-hand side. Neto sticks to his task. Good feet from Inácio. Finds Neto again. Back it comes to Inácio in the left-back position. Let's check in on the Czech Republic against Turkey then. Maz Faruqi.
8.5 minutes played, 0-0 between the Czech Republic and Turkey. Good early pressure from the Czech Republic. Provod has flashed a shot wide of the right post from distance. That's the best chance in the early stages. Although Turkey have just had a corner, Paul Robinson, and the Czech Republic knew before kick-off they have to win this game to stay in the competition. They are without the injured Schick, but they have started brightly.
Yeah, they've been defensive and they've played a lot of the competition without the ball. They're quite happily sat in the back five and a deep line, but they've started the game well today in possession. They've had a couple of decent attacks, and it's going to be up to Turkey to try and find a hole in behind the back five.
So the task of the Czech Republic remains the same despite that goal for Georgia in your game, Ali. It is 0-0 here, coming up to 10 minutes played.
Yeah, Portugal topping the group on 6 points, Turkey on 4, Georgia on 4. Portuguese possession again. Danilo Pereira with his right foot. Plays it across to the right-hand side. Antonio Silva, jogging pace, plays it to Conceição. Conceição has Diogo Dalot inside him, doesn't use him, goes sprinting for the byline, looking for the free kick, takes a tumble and stays down. Assistant referee was right there, and he points his flag across the pitch and says that is going to be a goal kick to Georgia. So 10 minutes in, Pat Nevin, Georgia have scored a brilliant goal. They were gifted it. Portugal gave them the ball, and they lead by a goal to nil.
They do. Very impressed the way they're set up. Referee's gone over to have a look at Conceição. I'm not over concerned by him. The reason being, yeah, there was a little shove, and he landed 3 yards off the pitch. He has somehow managed to roll back about 5 yards back onto the pitch, and he's 2 yards on. As I often say in these situations, I think he'll survive. Well, he was looking for something there, and it's just a strong challenge. It's not a foul. Get on with it.
He has survived. He's on his feet, and Georgia get ready to get this game back underway. They're leading Portugal by a goal to nil. I know we don't put too much stock in the world rankings, but I think they do say something in this game, and we know the sort of disparity in terms of the squads of these two teams and the resources. But Portugal ranked 6th in the world against Georgia ranked 74th, and it's Georgia who come again with Kvaratskhelia. Plays it across to Mikatadze, edge of the box, trying to work it onto his left foot, just holds onto it. Back it comes, and wide it goes. Shot in, deflected, headed away. Neto to Felix. Felix caught inside his own half, and that will be a free kick to Portugal. Lovely little quick movement of the ball from João Felix. Was caught, and Portugal have a chance to get hold of the ball again.
That was definitely a sore one. He's got it down, he's got on the knee. Those ones really, really hard, but he's got up and getting on the ball. But it's really interesting watching the Georgians play. They play a 5-3-2, but they leave the two up, and they're just waiting for that break moment.
This could be Portugal's moment. No, Ronaldo's lost it on the edge of the Georgian penalty area. They go hunting for the ball again. Portugal aren't able to win it. Cashier volleys it away. And now Georgia bring it with Lokashvili down the left-hand side. Didn't see too much on ahead of him. So plays back here. Into midfield it comes. Here's Cashier. Ball at his feet, just outside the penalty area. Striding forward. Bit of space for Chakvatadze. Chakvatadze moving quickly through the gears, but caught up with by Polini. A sliding challenge on him, and Danilo Pereira has it again.
They've got a lovely directness about them when the Georgians get the ball. I mean, they don't just hold it and calmly, they run into the areas. They're coming from deep time and again, but they're finding gaps behind that midfield line of the Portuguese. They are really enjoying it just now, and the Portuguese are not. Even though the Portuguese have got lots more of the ball and percentage of possession, I'm sure they're miles ahead, but when the Georgians get it, they are straight at them.
12 minutes in, former Scotland international Pat Nevin with us here in the arena. Auf Schalke. Felix's ball into the Georgian box, diving header away from the skipper Cashier. Ball is played out low to Mikatadze. Loose pass back from him. He claims that was a handball by Neto. Good interception. Kakabadze trying to bring it forward down the right-hand side. Tackled. And that will be a throw-in for Georgia on the right. And you and I, of course, Pat, have watched Georgia a couple of times in qualification for this tournament on that crazy night last summer when it wasn't as warm as this at Hampden Park. The game got started. Callum McGregor scored. The rain was torrential. They came off the pitch after 8 minutes, and it took about 2 hours to get Georgia back on the pitch to play the game.
I've never, ever known anything like it before, for a game to be stopped for that length of time and then to carry on. It was extraordinary. Georgians didn't fancy it that night. I'll tell you what, they fancy it tonight.
They definitely fancy it tonight. This is Lokashvili, cross deflected and into the arms of Diogo Costa, Portugal's goalkeeper, all in bright yellow. A lot of space for Portugal in their midfield inside their own half. They quickly bring the ball up to the halfway line. Gonçalo Inácio crosses that halfway line. Ronaldo's come deep to receive it and doesn't get it back. The retractable roof in the stadium tonight is open, so we can see a pale blue sky above us. It's through a real mesh of metalwork. One of the first things you said, actually, Pat, when you came in here, that concerts must be very good in here, music events.
Great place for a gig. And also the fact that if you're doing VAR, you should show it on those screens, because every single person in this arena can see a perfect view of those screens.
That's a good point. 4 giant screens in a block hanging above the middle of the pitch, so everyone in the stadium can see them. Loose pass from Inácio, and it goes out for a throw into Georgia in the right back position. So if you're joining us late this evening, get this scoreline: Georgia 1, Portugal 0. At the moment, that is taking Georgia through to the last 16. A win does that for them. Kvaratskhelia scored the goal. Georgia have given the ball away. Dalot plays it into midfield to João Neves. Quickly forward to Conceição. Nice little dart forward from him. Down he goes again. Referee says this time that is a free kick. Ronaldo might fancy this, Pat. It's in a central position. It is a long, long way from goal, though.
Ronaldo might fancy it. He always fancies it. And you're right, yeah, most other players wouldn't bother. By the way, absolute nonsense. Never a free kick in a month of Sundays. I would say Conceição kicked him. And Conceição, I mean, I've not seen a great deal of him, but he seems to be one of those players. He either gets the cross in or else he rolls around in agony. Well, that team has managed to get his team a free kick and he shouldn't have got one.
Right, I think we've got one of those Ronaldo moments coming, because it is centre stage stuff. Referee coming back to have a word with Cristiano Ronaldo, who slaps his thighs in frustration. I'm not sure what that conversation is about, but he'd started the big build-up there, so he'd placed the ball very deliberately and then took those very pointed 4, 5, 6 steps back, and then stands legs wide apart, runs at the ball, drives it with his right foot. Goodness me, that was well hit, swerving in the air, palmed away by Mamadashvili, and it goes behind for a corner. Nightmare for the keeper.
Utterly brilliant. It was all over the place, that ball. We've just seen another angle of it there. I don't think the keeper's going to try and catch that one, is he? He's leathered at him, but it is moving towards him, but it's just that little bevel in the air that Ronaldo seems to get. There's so few players do.
Portugal attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Most of their fans in the red shirts with the green trim behind that goal. Corner is cleared away, scruffily and out for a throw-in to Portugal. That is taken quickly. Cross comes in. It's a high loopy one from the right-hand side. Header is won by Ignacio. Another header goes up in the air and Mamadashvili confidently comes to the edge of his box. Sprints, delivers a long clearance downfield with his left foot. That's one-on-one between Mikatadze and Diogo Dalot for Portugal. Dalot's won the battle, plays it forward to Conceição. Cross it comes to the 19-year-old João Neves of Benfica, and Portugal comfortably in possession again. So losing the game for them tonight doesn't do them any damage. They will still go through as group winners. And at the moment, that would be to face Slovenia in the last 16. Hungary at the moment are going out. And Georgia are going through as one of the best third-place teams. On the left-hand side is Conceição. Step over, double step over. Now Neto dummies across with the left foot, teasing the defender. Cross comes in towards the far post. Good leap, headed towards goal, but wide of goal. And that will be a goal kick to Georgia. Czech Republic, Turkey latest. Maz Faruqi.
Still goalless in Hamburg, Ali. A chance from a similar distance from where he fired in that goal against Georgia for Arda Güler. This strike was put up for a Turkey corner. They are building into this game a little more now, though, Turkey. And every time Güler, the 19-year-old Real Madrid forward, gets on the ball, Paul, there's a level of excitement that he might create something. Yeah,
he looks a real player. Looks very baby-faced, young talent on that right-hand side, cutting in on his left foot. Him and Yildiz, they're the main threat. Turkey having the lion's share of the possession, 62% of possession. Czechia quite happy to let them have that. They very quickly drop into a defensive shape. They're very good defensively with a back five, and it's up to Turkey to try and build and to break them down. But yeah, it's not been a bad start so far.
First caution of the game as well has gone to Antonin Barak of the Czech Republic. 0-0, 80 minutes played. Czech Republic going out at the moment if it stays like this.
Yeah, that's right. Portugal 6 points, Turkey 4, Georgia 4. All those three are going through, and Hungary are going home at the moment. Georgia defending inside their own half, have given the ball away now. Dalot prods a little pass to Conceição. Back it comes towards the halfway line. Conceição's got a bit of space to work with. Lokoshvili just tries to close that space down. Kocharashvili joins him as well, and Portugal very patiently and carefully just playing these passes and trying to move the Georgian defenders around. 19 minutes gone, first half. Georgia leading Portugal by a goal to 0. Conceição teasing again on the right-hand side. Little figure, left-footed pass as he moves infield. Back it comes to Palhinha. Conceição again, looking to take the ball towards Kocharashvili, who's barged into the floor, edge of the Georgian penalty area. Referee's blown his whistle, so it's free kick Portugal. Conceição's down again, Pat.
I'm fed up with him already. I mean, I've not seen it a second time here, but every time anyone goes near him, he goes down, rolls around, holds his face. It's just tiresome. He gets the free kick. He's got another one again. Very dangerous possession. And for his team, you know, it's delightful, you know, because they're very dangerous from free kicks. They've got Ronaldo, can go over there and take them. This one from a much wider area, they can put it into a dangerous position. So the Georgians have to understand they're playing against a player over there who's going to get a lot of free kicks, so don't dive in.
Yeah.
Don't even give him a chance to get a waft of air that will move him over.
20 minutes gone in the first half. Georgia holding on to a 1-0 lead. Playing in their first ever major international tournament, trying to make it through to the knockout stages. Felix with the free kick, curled towards the far post. Ronaldo was trying to get on the end of it. Silva beat him to it, and Ronaldo is absolutely livid because he felt he was in the better position.
And I would agree completely. That's a good position for Ronaldo. He knows exactly what he's doing, and then from absolutely nowhere, the big centre back comes back right in front of him, and it shows you the desperation, and you understand why. So he feels that way. He's desperate to sort of make up for his team losing a goal and him being a part of it.
Yes, 20-year-old Antonio Silva stepping in front of Cristiano Ronaldo to take the header off target. So still Georgia leading Portugal by a 1-0, but a dramatic development in Hamburg. Maz.
Czech Republic are down to 10 players. Antonin Barak, I mentioned he just picked up a first caution. Well, he's been shown a second yellow card. He's just trudging off the field now down the tunnel in Hamburg. You thought it was quite a soft second caution there, Paul?
He's a little bit unlucky. He just loses control, and just as he goes to try and win the ball back, he just goes over the top and he stands on the Turkish player's foot, on the top of his foot. There's no malice. It's not a badly timed challenge. He's just dangling his foot out to try and get the ball. Listen, if he hadn't been booked, it's a harsh yellow. I think it's a very harsh yellow, especially for a second one.
So we've only played just over 20 minutes in this match, a match that Czech Republic have to win. It is goalless and they're down to 10.
Thank you, Maz. Georgia still leading Portugal by a 0-0, having to do a lot of defending in this first half at the moment. Portugal have possession just outside the Georgian penalty area. Back they come though to João Neves, Danilo Pereira, right-footed pass from him, away to that right-hand side. Antonio Silva just plays a short pass to the right. Conceição involved again. Dallo is waiting on the right-hand touchline, doesn't receive it. Roberto Martinez in a dark blue suit this evening. That's certainly going to be warm with the suit jacket on. He's just on the edge of the pitch and just leaning to his right to get a view around the assistant referee to watch this build-up. Felix plays it to Palhinha, right-footed drive straight at Mamardashvili, who holds on to it cleanly.
He holds on to it cleanly, but I think he's breathing a little bit there, because I think he's gone down really early and it's moved a little bit at the last second there, but unlike a lot of goalkeepers in this tournament, he's held on to it. I understand why. That ball's moving an awful lot when anyone hits it with any power at all. The last little while the Georgians really haven't got a sniff of getting out of their own half, have they? Complete domination at the moment. It's about 75% possession, I'm guessing, for the Portuguese at the moment.
74%, Pat, you're wrong actually.
Oh.
No, yes, you're very nearly spot on. That is a good shout. Passes completed total, Portugal 200 of 219, it says on our screen, but it also says on our screen that Kvaratskhelia scored in the second minute and Georgia lead Portugal by a 0-0, and at the moment as things stand that would take them through to a last 16 game against Spain, and England will play Slovakia here on Sunday. Do not miss that. Full commentary on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 5 o'clock kickoff on Sunday as Inacio moves infield. Portugal now have it inside the Georgian penalty area. A little trick from Felix, nearly wriggled his way through. Driven shot from João Neves, controlled it on his chest. Georgia were claiming for a handball. They've managed to clear it away, and Danilo Pereira did well there actually, dummied a back pass to his goalkeeper. Mikatadze fell for that, and Portugal have it with Palhinha. Palhinha sees space on the right-hand side. 50-yard pass, high in the air. Conceição jumps high, but he can't keep it in, and that'll be a throw into Georgia. Pat Nevin.
See, the way Georgians play, I mean, they're not going to load the ball. I don't think they're panicked about that. When they're on the ball, they're very comfortable passing. And the thing they've got, because they leave 2 up front, and a lot of teams when they're under pressure, it's the old 5-4-1. You hit it up there, it's coming back. You've only one guy up there. He's no one to pass it to. He can't hold it up in any way whatsoever. But because they leave 2 up front, they do break, and they do look very dangerous when they break. But at the moment, they've had about a 7 or 8 minute period where they've not got a sniff of breaking.
Kitaishvili has gone down while Pat was talking there and is holding his face. So the referee has had to stop the game. Portugal had the ball inside their own half, so we'll restart with their possession in a second. Roberto Martinez having a word with Pedro Neto. 8 changes made to the Portuguese team tonight. The goalkeeper Diogo Costa still in there. Palhinha on the yellow card from a previous game in central midfield, so he's got to be a little bit careful. And Cristiano Ronaldo starting up front, who hasn't really had a sniff of goal as yet, apart from the far post cross when his teammate Antonio Silva jumped in his way.
And the shot from the free kick.
And the shot from the free kick, thank you, Pat. Yes,
I would add on top of that, we're talking about all the players tonight, and you see the likes of Messi and Ronaldo near the end of their career, and you think, are they putting in the shift? And there was times I would ask that question about Ronaldo when he was at Manchester United. I think he's run at least as far as any other Portuguese player tonight. He has looked seriously up for it.
25 minutes gone in the first half. Kitaishvili, Sturm Graz attacking midfielders okay. And Portugal have got this game back underway. They're trailing Georgia by a 1-0. Only the second ever meeting between the two teams. The other was a friendly as Portugal were getting ready for Euro 2008. It was played in Geneva, and Portugal won it by a couple of 0-0. They're behind tonight. They're struggling to keep the ball in play with Neto on the left. That was scruffy from Portugal. And it's Kocherashvili who plays it forward, and again Georgia looking to attack quickly on the counter, gets away from Mikitadze. It's back with Diogo Costa.
That is their game plan, isn't it? They look so good. They scored the goal from that as well, but they wait for someone just to have a tiny loose pass, or they get a little foot in somewhere, and suddenly 3 of them from nowhere are flying at that back line, and quite often they find themselves, either 2v2 or 3v3. The game plan is absolutely superb, and considering they're up against an extremely good tactician in Roberto Martinez, it's quite impressive so far.
Antonio Silva with his right foot finds Conceição. Conceição has got Lokoshvili backpedaling. Dalot tries to get a cross in. It's blocked at close range by Diwali. Conceição again zipping infield. His cross is ballooned up in the air by Cashier, and that's going to go behind for a Portuguese corner. Georgia 1, Portugal 0, and Czech Republic down to 10 men in Hamburg. Barak's been sent off in the first half. They are currently 0-0 against Turkey, so Turkey going through in second place in this group, and Georgia with this win will be going through as one of the best third place teams. Corners rolled to the corner of the penalty area. Neto takes it on a little run, crosses in with his left foot, keeper comes, doesn't get there. Conceição drives it into the ground and into the side netting, and Cristiano Ronaldo is sat down inside the box and plaintively with his arms out is saying, there's a foul off the ball there, I was taken out in the box, my shirt was pulled, we should have a penalty.
Yeah, and because he's made such a fuss of it, yeah, he has been pulled. Wow. He pulled all over the place. Too late now. They've started again. Too late.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, Ronaldo's going to get booked. Ronaldo is getting booked for the protests. But you're absolutely right, Pat. Georgia got the game going very quickly, and if they wanted to have a look at that, they had to do that before the restart of the game. So maybe the video assistant referee had a quick look and thought there's nothing in that. I mean, there was a
lot of tugging in that. There was something in it. Now, whether he's going to get, a penalty kick for it, the ball was miles away from him, he was never going to get involved with it. But that isn't the point. If you go and drag someone's shot and pull them down, it's a free kick. It's very, very clear. And the one thing I will say, Ronaldo is in the book, but the referee and the assistant and the VAR will not be able to ignore that again.
No, they won't.
No chance.
Neto playing the ball back to Inacio. Inacio across here to Danilo Pereira. Pereira to Silva up towards the halfway line. Lots and lots of possession for Portugal, but Georgia leading by a 0-0. And here's João Neves. Neves to Inacio. Inacio is just inside the Georgian half. He was about to be confronted by Kocherashvili, the midfielder with the dark hair, tied back in a little ponytail. Gets on the ball now for Georgia. Plays a pass to his left to Kitaishvili. Back to the goalkeeper it comes. Mamadashvili with his left foot up towards the halfway line. Headed away by Inacio. Portugal trying to win this back. Palhinha has done that and comes back to his goalkeeper. Got an instruction from the studio there and it didn't come through clearly. I wonder whether we're needing to go back to the Czech Republic against Turkey. Next break in play will do that. Here's João Neves. And Neves again just plays back to Silva. Silva thought about the lob ball over the top. Danilo Pereira, low pass with his right foot, finds Inacio. Portuguese centre-backs having a lot of time on the ball. lot of space to work with. Neves, quick little pass into Felix. Felix a step over and a turn. Back to Neves. Neto to Pereira. Danilo Pereira, right-footed pass across to Conceição. Thunderclap from the Portuguese fans away to the right. Conceição on the dribble. Really good defending to stop him in his tracks. Georgia can't bring the ball away. Felix fancies a shot with his left foot and it's wide of the target. Well hit. Mamardashvili wasn't entirely sure it was going wide, but it has gone wide. He threw himself full length to his left, and that will be a goal kick. Maz Faruqi, Czech Republic against Turkey.
Half an hour played in Hamburg. This one is still goalless. More possession for Turkey, though. Gulesh has had a chance that the Czech Republic defence has had to scramble clear. Kenan Yildiz, the 19-year-old Juventus forward, with some good work in the left of the area in the build-up as well. They haven't found the back of the net yet, Paul Robinson, but it feels like a matter of when for Turkey now at this point.
It's going to be all about Turkey this game and how quickly they can move the ball speed. Can they get this Czechia defence moved about? Czechia are making their plans quite clear. They're playing with a back five, 3 and 1 up front. Almost it's a back five with 4 in front. They've been very, very defensive, and it's all going to be about Turkey. Can they move the ball quick enough? Can they break this Czechia team down, who are very good defensively?
Yeah, the Czech Republic, the 10 players of the Czech Republic all behind the ball at the moment, trying to do some defending. A reminder, they've been down to 10 men because Antonin Barak has been shown 2 yellow cards, sent off in the 20th minute. Czech Republic nil, Turkey nil.
15 minutes to play in the first half here. Very sticky night in northwest Germany. Kvaratskhelia has gone down on the halfway line, gets the decision. Free kick for Georgia. He scored the early goal. Georgia lead Portugal by 1-0, and the longer this goes, Pat, the more interesting it becomes.
It really does, because I mean, you're looking at Georgia and thinking, right, you're chasing shadows a wee bit just now. You're not going to lock the ball. It is hard work. They're seriously pumped up for it, it has to be said, but they're just human. There's been 3 games in quick succession. They will get tired, and doing this sort of thing every minute, it gets harder throughout the game. So it's whether they can actually get a hold of the ball and get a foothold on it and give themselves a little bit of a rest. As I've said that, the past 30 seconds to a minute, they've done precisely that.
Yeah, build-up's been good here from Georgia. They're inside the Portuguese half. It is the right wing-back, Otar Kakabadze, plays back into his own half. Now Kitaishvili, nice turn from him to lose Polinia. Stops for a second and decides just to slow it down and give Georgia a bit of a breather, and they work the ball over to the left-hand side, and that was Chakvetadze. Now Watford's Georgi Chakvetadze still making his run into the Portuguese half. Longer ball over the top, chased by Kakabadze. Kakabadze battling for it, down by the byline, has just kept that in. Challenge on him, ball hit the corner flag, runs to Kakabadze, trying to get away from Neto, does well, gets it back to Kvaratskhelia, into the feet of Mikatadze, might come back to the centre forward. Here's Kvaratskhelia, right foot shot, driven wide into the side netting. That will be a Portuguese goal kick.
You cannot help but like them. Their attitude, the positivity. I know they're not getting a lot of the possession, but it's because they're getting passed off the field, the last parts of it. But when they get the ball, they're not negative. They are never negative. They want to be positive. They all want to go on the ball. They want to fly forward. Really impressive. Kakabadze, particularly on the right-hand side, he's not sitting back as back five. When they get the ball, he flies down that right wing. And at the moment, they're doing a great job, even though, as I say, such a small part of the possession. 12
minutes remaining in the first half. Georgia 1, Portugal 0. As it stands, Georgia going through to the last 16, Hungary going out, and England will be facing Slovakia here on Sunday. Belgium-France, a game in the last 16 that is already set to go after Belgium finish runners-up in Group E. Which
will be a pretty good one, but generally quite a lot of good ones coming out here. I mean, the problem you've got, if you're the Georgians just now, they're 1-0 up. You have no safety net whatsoever. Go to 1-1, you're on 2 points. You're going out, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right, Pat. Neto's ball down the left to João Felix, and of course Roberto Martinez, depending on how he wants to play it, because Portugal already through as group winners, has got plenty of talent at his disposal on the bench. We know that. Danilo Pereira, central position inside the Georgian half. Ball into the feet of João Neves, back to Danilo Pereira again. Wide it comes to Neto. Ronaldo's calling for it here. He's outside the penalty area. Double step over from Neto. Finds Polinia. Little clip. Ronaldo, left-footed drive, brilliantly blocked. Defender threw himself in the way of that, and that goes behind for a quarter to Portugal. Georgia 1, Portugal 0.
He's getting high fives all over the place. Is it Veliciani?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. He has flown into that. If he didn't actually catch the ball and he caught Ronaldo, he'd have halved him in two. It was a brilliant tackle though.
11 minutes left in the first half. Portugal behind. João Neves rolls a pass to his right. Diogo Dalot, was he blocked off the ball there? Wow, Georgia with a chance potentially on the counter. No, Portugal have got back in numbers, but Chakvetadze lays the ball off. Here's Kvaratskhelia. He suddenly picks up the pace. What a fabulous run, just swerving between challenges there, and eventually all Portugal can do to stop him is drag him to the floor. Georgia have a free kick.
Absolutely brilliant. It's exactly the kind of break I've been talking about the entirety of this game. And by the way, Kvaratskhelia, isn't he a joy to watch when he goes on the ball? What a player he is. But the great thing about that break there, Portugal were looking for the free kick. He's thrown himself to the ground again, and your last man. What a chance to take that. Referee's not buying it for a second. They almost went 2-0 down there.
Cristiano Ronaldo is giving it the old double teapot, if you know what I mean. Doesn't look happy. Hands on hips. Kvaratskheilia's free kick goes all the way through the Portuguese box and nearly ended up in the back of the net. No one got a touch, and sometimes the goalkeeper's waiting for a touch. Just watch those go, and they end up in the far corner, a couple of yards wide.
That's an amazing chance there. I think his hair's probably gone. Yeah. He needed to get his head onto it. Brilliant ball in. Once again, it's Kvaratskhelia. He's put the ball in there into the perfect position.
Fascinating game here tonight. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Georgia leading Portugal by a goal to nil. Czech Republic down to 10 men, 0-0 against Turkey. Good enough for Turkey to go through in second place at the moment. Portugal attacking down the left, step over from Neto, left-footed cross, another one's blocked, and it goes behind for the corner. Second place team in this group, Turkey at the moment, will face Austria in the last 16. So you've got 2 days off the Euros. You're allowed to have a little bit of a rest. We are back on Saturday, 5 o'clock. First game in the last 16 is going to be an absolute cracker. Kelly Cates presenting live in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, Switzerland against Italy. Corner for Portugal, comes into the far post just beyond Ronaldo, cleared to the edge of the box. João Neves heads it to his right-hand side. And here's Conceição. Conceição's got 2 defenders out there trying to deal with him. Wriggled past one, then stumbling forward, looking for another free kick, doesn't get it from the referee.
Honestly, you would almost say, going to book him, just to make him stop doing that.
Rafael Leao is not playing in this game tonight, Pat, because he's been booked for simulation in the first 2 games.
Yeah, it's just a cultural thing. You get some types of players in certain leagues do it all the time. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah. Conceição not helping himself at times. There is an enormous flag being waved in that Portuguese end away to our left-hand side. Giant green, gold, red and white Portuguese national flag right in the middle of it as well. Georgian free kick inside their own half. Czech Republic, Turkey latest. Maz Faruqi.
38 minutes played, still goalless in Hamburg, but tempers flaring. Patrick Schick, even though he's not on the pitch, has been booked for coming out to the edge of the Czech Republic technical area and protesting, shouting about a decision made by the referee. We've had a blade breaking play as well for some treatment on a Czech defender. Kenan Yildiz, the latest player to pick up a caution. Yellow cards flying out all over the place from this referee, Paul.
Well, he's set his stall out, hasn't he? He's given a few early ones out, and he's having to keep up with the standard that he's set himself. And the Czechs are now, they're making the game very scrappy. I mean, it's not a great spectacle at the moment. The most entertaining thing inside this stadium is watching the Turkish fans. They're outstanding. But the Czechia team, they're making it bitty, they're making it scrappy. They've been dogged, they've been hard to break down, but it's just not very good at the moment. Turkey need to get hold of the ball, get some good possession, keep some good possession, and try and create some quality chances. At the moment, it's very, very stop-start, and the referee's adding to that.
Yeah, so it's a very disrupted game. Turkey struggling to find a rhythm, really. Approaching half-time still. Czech Republic now, Turkey now.
Maz alongside former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson tonight, watching that one. Czech Republic going out as it stands. Georgia going through, because they are leading here against Portugal. Hungary desperately hoping that Portugal get themselves an equaliser, then they're back in the equation, and then England might be facing the Netherlands in the last 16. It could all change. Here's Felix for Portugal. Little pass to his left-hand side to Inacio. Wide it comes to Neto. Neto's level with the edge of the box. Simple pass to Inacio. Comes back into central midfield. Polinia rolls it to his right-hand side. Silva, little pass, looking for a threaded one through the inside right channel. Georgia have worked it away, and again they look to go on the counter. And Kvaratskhelia might have been caught by Danilo Pereira. He holds him off. Kvaratskhelia is rolling around in, well, he looks to be in agony holding his face on the halfway line as Portugal play forward. Felix's ball goes straight through the goalkeeper and Mamardashvili is able to pick it up, and now the referee will come and check.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I didn't think it was a deliberate one. Throwing his arm back, definitely caught him, and the referee has to have a wee look at that. The VAR will have a look at that as well. I think that would be quite harsh on the defender there. I'm not sure that was it's Danilo Pereira, wasn't it, who did it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're running, your arms go behind you a little bit. He has caught him across the face. It will be quite sore, but I don't think it was anything deliberate in that.
Just over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. So as I say, Switzerland-Italy, 5 o'clock on Saturday. That's when the last 16 begins. The winner of that one, were England to win their last 16 game, would meet England in the quarter-finals. 8 o'clock on Saturday, we've got full commentary of Germany-Denmark. And then Sunday, 5 o'clock, is currently England against Slovakia, but it could easily be England against the Netherlands. That will depend on how this group plays out tonight. And then Spain at 8 o'clock, either against Slovakia, if England don't play them, or the third best team in this group, which is currently Georgia.
And it will change once or twice over the next little while.
It's a nightmare, Pat.
It is a bit of a nightmare. Just a nice little moment there, talking about the actually on the field for some players. Kvaratskhelia, he's got a bad one. He's got a dull one across the face, and who knows it was Danilo Pereira. He's come over to him, just shook hands and said, "Yeah, that's the sort of thing that happens."
Yeah,
you know, contact game, two players going for a ball. It can happen. Like that.
Georgia 1, Portugal 0. That's the voice of Pat Nevin. All the debate, analysis, reaction, as always, in the Football Daily podcast, available via the BBC Sounds app. The joy of that as we go through the tournament, of course, is take us with you wherever you go. If you're on the move this summer, you can listen to us wherever you are. Ball is chested down by Silva for Portugal inside his own half. Match of the Day Top 10 podcast, available via the BBC Sounds app as well. A couple of the episodes up at the moment. The top 10 controversial moments of the Euros and the top 10 upsets, actually. Georgia 1, Portugal 0, I think.
Absolutely.
Would definitely go down as one of those. That might need a little re-record in time. That's Gary Lineker, Michael Richards and Alan Shearer, where they'll also rank things like their greatest games, greatest defenders, greatest goals, only available on the BBC Sounds app. About 4 minutes left in the first half here. Kvaratskhelia second-minute goal after Silva gave the ball away high inside the Georgian half. They did so well, Georgia, to take that down the pitch, and Mikatadze to find Kvaratskhelia. And as Pat Nevin said at the time, you never thought he was going to miss from there, and it could be an enormous goal in the history of Georgian football. Ronaldo's gone down, corner of the box. Referee says the ball was taken. Portuguese frustrations grow. Kocharashvili scoops a pass with his left foot out towards Lokashvili on the left-hand side. Forward to Chakvetadze. His first touch let him down. He's committed a foul on Silva. Free kick Portugal.
It is intriguing, the referee. You know, he's looking at some of the more histrionic movements from the Portuguese, and he's had enough.
Yeah.
He's not having it. He's just and he seems to have fallen out with Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, by the way, what a beautiful little touch there
from Felix.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Played it to Conceição, looking for Felix again. Clever 1-2. Conceição onto the ball, couldn't quite find the space inside the box. Uses Felix again. Out of the box it comes to Polinia with the curler, and that's wide of the target. And Mamardashvili threw himself to his left again, but I think he was pretty confident that one was going wide. By the way, just talking about the referees dealing with some of these Portuguese players, I read in the notes, Pat, before the game. So his name is Sandro Scherer. He's Swiss. He was a former substitute teacher. So if you're a substitute teacher, I think you know how to deal with petulant kids at times.
He's not having any of it. The flight over here, actually, the Swiss pilot was telling the Scotland fans to shut up and stop singing. This is not a football ground. This is an aeroplane. Yeah. Not taking any nonsense, those Swiss, aren't they?
No, they're not. João Neves did well to get his pass away under pressure inside his own half, and here come Portugal as well, and João Felix striding forward with the ball at his feet. Ronaldo to his left-hand side, plays it to Neto instead. Neto, edge of the Georgian penalty area, loads of red shirts in front of him. Oh, and he's been
well done.
Gone down.
Well
He's
done.
booked for diving. Challenge came in on Pedro Neto. He threw himself to the floor. The ball had run away from him. He's desperate to win the free kick. This referee, Sandro Scherer, is not having it. He's not having the histrionics or the theatrics from the Portuguese players. Not from Conceição, not from Ronaldo, and not from Pedro Neto, who's been booked.
Right. I bet you there's contact here. He's dragged his leg to take the contact. You know I've got to be in my bonnet about this. There's a lot of players that do it. You know, I've had a dig at Anthony Gordon for doing it many times before as well. And I don't care who it is and who they're playing for. The referee has been magnificent spotting that. And someone will shout, oh, there was contact. Yes, there was. He initiated it. Well done, referee.
Georgia take their free kick. So Pedro Neto booked for diving. Cristiano Ronaldo also in the ref's book for protesting about a decision that he didn't get, although he was probably more in the right there. Mikatadze, edge of the Portuguese penalty area. Portugal get enough bodies in the way, and here's Dalot. Dalot tries to take it past Kvaratskhelia, did well to muscle his way past. Here's João Neves. João Neves is chased furiously inside his own half and fouled by Kitaishvili, but he's done his job because he slowed the Portuguese attack last minute of the first half. Georgia 1, Portugal 0. Sets us up beautifully for the second half. Hungary still hoping that Portugal will equalise, and it remains Czech Republic 0, Turkey 0, which has taken the Czech Republic out of the tournament. Here's Felix for Portugal, running across the face of the penalty area, lines up a left-footed drive, and Mamadashvili gets down to his left and makes a good save.
He's coming into it now, Felix, really coming into it. Not much from him the first 20-25 minutes, not a lot of space there, but he knows that the opponents will tire as the game goes on, and he's beginning to find a lot of pockets of space now. He's always looking for Ronaldo, but he's got 2 or 3 men around him all the time. But João Felix at the moment looking better and better. He's looking the most dangerous player on that Portuguese side.
Well, Georgia very happy with things at the moment. They've won a throw-in inside the Portuguese half on the right. Mikatadze just let the ball run out of play right under the nose of Roberto Martinez. And Martinez might have to have a word with a couple of his players about some of the antics, some of the tricks they're trying to win the free kicks. I'll tell you what, Pedro Neto's done well here. He's won the ball inside his own half and quickly carried it forward into the Georgian half. He's running diagonally without too much purpose at the moment, but has support from Conceição. Neto getting booed by the Georgian fans. Conceição again just tries to knock the ball between the two defenders. He's won Portugal another corner. Georgia 1, Portugal 0.
I actually don't think he has to have a word with his players. The players aren't stupid. They've realised the referee's not falling for this. They'll stop doing it. That's what generally happens when the referee's strong and he books somebody for diving. They realise, oh, can't do that, got on with the game.
Last 30 seconds of the first half, Portuguese corner in towards the near post, and Mamadashvili back into his goal, but punches the ball away in front of the line.
That was a shot at goal from the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
That was danger, and Mamadashvili did well with it, and he has been absolute standout performer for Georgia in the group stages, and they are potentially heading towards one of the greatest results in their history, if not the greatest. The first ever major tournament win. They've lost the ball inside their own half, but they're okay for now because the 2 minutes of added time are up, and there are boos, cheers and whistles, but cheers and chanting as well from the Georgian fans away to our right hand side, because they scored a cracking goal on the counter in the second minute of the game. Loose pass from Antonio Silva, Kvaratskhelia with the deadly finish into the far corner, and at half-time, Pat, Georgia lead Portugal by a goal to 0.
And what a brilliantly balanced game, and what an entertaining game as well. Underline, the Portuguese have got most of it, they've got the ball, they've created a few chances, nothing absolutely clear cut. And yeah, they can get the ball and do whatever they like with it, but you've got 5 defenders, 3 midfielders in front of them who are working their socks off to make sure that there's no space at all. The quality players are getting more of the ball and getting more of it in dangerous players, but they have not yielded yet. And the problem for the Portuguese is the Georgians look pretty tasty when they get the ball and play on the break. They've really been a joy to watch, and if in the second half the Portuguese can realise that they shouldn't roll about and dive about and try and get fake penalty kicks and fake free kicks, we could have an absolutely brilliant 45 minutes to come.
Georgia have a plan, and it's working. They're leading Portugal by a goal to 0, and at the moment that will take them through to the last 16. Portugal will go through as group winners, Turkey in second place in this group, Georgia through in third. It will also mean that England will meet Slovakia in the last 16 here on Sunday. Half-time, it's Georgia 1, Portugal 0.
Yeah, plenty of interested observers to this one, not just those involved in Group F, but Georgia are leading Portugal at the break. And Pat, I've been listening to you talk about this referee. He is very strict.
Oh, I'm having him. Oh, I like him a lot. Purely, he's just not falling for it. You know, the trick that a lot of players are playing just now is that they initiate the contact, they throw the leg into position so that they fall over that leg. Now, he's not falling for that one. That's kind of an easy one to spot. There's plenty of other times. Conceição has been ridiculous in this game. Honestly, you watch him, he spends so much time wriggling on the ground, he should have been a worm. It is really, really annoying, as you could probably tell from my voice. And he's a good player. Stop doing that. Just go on with the game and try and create. It's nice to see someone like João Felix not doing that just now. And so actually, I have to say, Cristiano Ronaldo's not doing it either. But it is infuriating, and well done. He gets his card out for Neto, who tried to do that as well. And you watch the Georgian players, and so far they've been brilliant. Their work rate's fantastic. And I have to say, it's that old thing, that very old thing of, do you know when Kvaratskhelia gets the ball, you think, I hope he gets it again soon. It's one of those players, and how many of them are there really that are that good, that are that exciting, that are that talented? He's a star. He is an absolute star. I think he's 22 at the moment. Had a great year for Napoli last season. But you put him in a team where he's getting more of the ball up front, he is spectacular.
Really looking forward to hearing the second 45 minutes of that one with Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce Ball. That will be along very shortly. We'll also keep you up to date with everything that's happening in Hamburg. It's Czechia against Turkey, and it's watched by Paul Robinson and Maz Faruqi. Been an eventful first half, Maz.
Well, not a huge amount of quality has in truth happened, Kelly, in this match. It is 0-0 at half-time, and that suits Turkey, of course, who don't need to push for the win, unlike the Czech Republic. But their task has been made that bit harder now. They are down a player. Antonin Barrett, remember, picking up a yellow card in the 11th minute and then a second in the 20th minute, meaning he was sent off, and that is the fastest red card, by the way, shown in the history of this tournament. The referee has been quite quick to show the cards, though. I'm not sure Pat would be such a fan of this referee's performance so far. There have been 2 yellows as well for Turkey players, and perhaps Kenan Yildiz was lucky not to be shown a second yellow himself. But for all their dominance against the 10 men, Paul Robinson, Turkey haven't had a shot on target yet, and the best chance actually fell to David Jurasek in the final minute of the first half for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, it was nearly an amazing smash and grab by the Czech Republic in the last minute of the first half. Jurasek went through. It was a break completely out of the blue. Turkey were dominating possession. Czechia hit them on the break. Souček sprints 3/4 of the length of the pitch and he plays Jurasek in, and the goalkeeper actually, Gunnar, makes a fantastic save, comes out, closes the angle down and keeps his team in the game. But like he's touched on there at the start, Turkey don't have to win this game, so we could be in for a really slow second half here. Actually, they've not been quick in possession, and the Czechia team, they're sitting deep, they're trying to hit on the counter attack, but Turkey, they're not overcommitting, they're not pushing too far forward, because they know that a draw will be enough for them in this game. Gula and Yildiz and Yilmaz, they look a threat. They had a couple of shots from distance, but Czechia, they're going to rely on set plays and Soufal's long throw.
It's nice to hear, Kelly, isn't it, that Paul Robinson is enjoying himself this evening, and it's goalless between the 10 men of the Czech Republic and Turkey at half-time in Hamburg.
Well, we're enjoying listening to you. Maz Faruqi and Paul Robinson keeping an eye on that game that's happening in Hamburg this evening between the Czech Republic and Turkey. And should anything of note happen in that game, barring the red card that happened in the first half, then of course we will bring that to you as updates throughout commentary of the match between Georgia and Portugal, where there could be an upset on the cards, with Georgia leading Portugal by 1-0 at half-time. We'll reflect on the day's earlier games, and it was a busy day in Group E. We'll be doing that after the BBC News with Jill Mackenzie.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Rishi Sunak and Sir Keir Starmer are taking part in the last leaders' debate of this general election before polling day next Thursday. The first question focused on the Westminster betting scandal. The Conservative leader said he was frustrated and furious over the allegations, while the Labour leader says he wants to reset politics and bring back the principle of public service. The woman whose car crashed into a school in Wimbledon last July, killing 2 8-year-old girls, will not face criminal charges. The Crown Prosecution Service says she had an epileptic seizure at the wheel. Julian Assange is back in his native Australia after being freed by a US court. The WikiLeaks founder made a plea bargain with American officials, ending a 14-year legal battle over the publication of classified documents. And the Princess Royal's husband, Sir Tim Lawrence, says she's recovering slowly after being concussed at her home in Gloucestershire. It's thought Princess Anne was hurt by a horse on Sunday.
Wimbledon, where every little detail can make the difference. Get closer to the action.
Vondrousova is the unseeded champion. How has this happened?
Join us down at SW19 for Wimbledon 2024.
Carefully laid plans have been reduced to dust.
Starts Monday
on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Euro 2024 with Kelly Cates
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Coming up, we'll have live second half commentary of Georgia against Portugal. Georgia lead that one by a 1-0. We'll also keep you up to date with what's happening elsewhere in Group F. Czech Republic taking on Turkey in Hamburg. That one is goalless at half-time. Anthony Joshua will fight fellow Brit Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title after undisputed champion Alexander Usyk vacated the belt. In a video on X, Usyk said, "Anthony and Daniel, I know the IBF title is important to you. It's my present to you on the 21st of September. Phil Foden has temporarily left the England camp in Germany and returned to the UK for the birth of his third child. It's hoped Foden will be back with the squad by the time they play their last 16 match. England and Sussex fast bowler Ollie Robinson was hit for 43 runs in the most expensive over in the history of the county championship. He was struck for 5 sixes, 3 of which were off no balls, 3 fours and a single by Leicestershire's Louis Kimber in the 4th and final day of their Division 2 match. England's women cruised to a 9-wicket win over New Zealand in the opening one-day international in Durham. Opener Tammy Beaumont finished with 76 not out. The men's T20 World Cup continues tomorrow. England come up against India in the semi-finals, and Henry Moran is leading our team.
Here in the Caribbean, England's path to the semi-finals has felt as uncertain and turbulent as the stormy weather that dominates this part of the world in the summer months. A rain-affected group stage saw a fight against the elements in Antigua and then help from Australia in beating Scotland for England to get through. The Super 8s phase again had England having to fight back, this time needing to beat the USA quickly in Barbados to guarantee a net run rate swing. But whilst big sides such as Australia, Pakistan and co-host West Indies have fallen out of the tournament, England's ship has continued through the storm unbowed. Now just 4 remain. Afghanistan against South Africa in Trinidad in the early hours of tomorrow morning UK time, before England face the might of India tomorrow afternoon in Guyana. When I spoke to head coach Matthew Mott earlier today, he told me that whilst delighted to be through, his England side have yet to hit their best form.
I do think we're close. I think there's been parts of this tournament where we've had to play some ugly cricket at times, whether the wind's been a factor or there's been rain about. And I've been really impressed with the resilience of the group. But I think from here on in, and we spoke a lot yesterday about this, it's time to be the front runners. It's time to more or less throw the first punch at India and then, try and get our nose in front and never give it back. So, past World Cups will say that the semi-finals when it starts to get real. And it's almost a footnote what happened in the previous stages, really, when you look back. But I definitely think our A game is certainly enough to match it with India. It's a challenge we're going to relish. We've been in semi-finals. We know what to do. We've just got to put our best game together.
One factor that is out of England's control is the fact that a no result would see India going through. They finished top of their Super 8s group whilst England was second in theirs. The forecast in Guyana, whilst unpredictable, suggests that there is the prospect of rain. This England side have faced a tumultuous journey to reach this point, but are now just 2 games away from doing something no side has ever done in the men's game. That is retaining the T20 World Cup trophy.
That was Henry Moran, and you also heard from England head coach Matthew Mott. Live commentary is on 5 Sports Extra from 3:15pm tomorrow, then 5 Live Cricket with all the reaction from 7pm. Belgium reached the knockout stages of Euro 2024 as group runners-up. They drew 0-0 with Ukraine. There were boos at full-time from the Belgian fans, and their manager, Domenico Tedesco, was asked about it in his post-match press conference.
Well, of course, we are a little bit surprised because we played fantastic against Romania. The fans, everybody was really happy. And today, of course, it was a tough one because we knew that they're going to play 1-1 or 2-2 or 0-0 over there. So we can't fail. But the message was clear. We want to play and we want to try to win. And I think that the players tried everything. We can score more. We can score earlier at the beginning. But if the fans are whistling, we have just to accept. We can be disappointed because many players, they don't understand. We are qualified, and this is the most important thing for now. And let me just add one thing about today. The circumstance as we arrived here, or how we arrived here at the stadium, I never saw this before. We took from our hotel around 1 hour with the police escort, no blue light. The road was completely free. They slowed down 20, 25 kilometers per hour. Every red traffic light, we stopped. At the end, I had a speech of 2 minutes. nothing. Warm up, we had to reduce. For me, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. So it was an important game. It was a tough one. We had a bad preparation on this. This is the truth. But I'm proud of my team. You know, they did well. At the end, it's not easy, because if you concede one goal, you are out.
There are some pictures of your players with lasers being fired in their eyes, laser pens from the crowd. Are you aware of this? Did you complain to the referee? What were your players saying?
Yeah, of course I'm aware of it. Everything is happening here, everything. And everything is allowed. You know, we can have a delay of 1 hour. They don't postpone the match of 15 minutes. They can laser point us or whatever. You saw the first game. Let's say we were not really lucky in the first game. So many things, and we still qualified, you know. And this is, for me, the most important thing. That's why I'm really proud of the players.
That was Belgium manager Domenico Tedesco talking about the difficulties that his players faced. And there have been organisational issues in Berlin. Certainly the fans would attest to that across Germany in this tournament. But he was talking particularly about the issues in them reaching the ground in their game against Ukraine in Stuttgart earlier on, and also the issues around lasers being pointed into the players' eyes. But we saw him on the edge of his dugout. Jose Fontes with us in our Berlin studio. So instructing his players, he was quite animated throughout that game. And it felt, even with those factors that he mentioned aside, they looked like they were really struggling in this game, Belgium.
Yes, it wasn't the best of the games from Belgium. We have to be honest. We expected more with the talent they had in the squad, with the players like Kevin De Bruyne, Doku, Tielemans. You know, we always going to expect Belgium to come out and produce beautiful football because of the protagonists that they have. The fact of the matter is that Ukraine deserves a lot of credit because they didn't allow the best players to shine, and they had actually a very good game. So yes, people should be a little bit disappointed with the result, not the result, but the performance. But the fact of the matter is that Belgium has qualified, and that is the most important. I remember clearly, in 2016, we went through with 3 draws. Nobody was happy with how we was playing football as well, but we won the Euros. So the most important is to be in the next stage, the knockout stage.
And that is a speech that will be familiar to England fans, certainly after their performance last night against Slovenia. Just before we hand back to Alistair Bruce-Ball and Pat Nevin for second half commentary of the game between Georgia and Portugal. Georgia are leading 1-0. Let's take a listen to Georgian radio commentary of the goal that currently separates them and Portugal. In Gelsenkirchen for us this evening, maybe less emotionally involved, but certainly no less entertaining. Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, I think I feel like I possibly let the nation down there a bit, Pat. Not quite matching those levels of excitement.
Not at all.
Great goal, and it set up a great situation. Georgia, 45 minutes, possibly a little bit more away from what would have to go down as the greatest result in the history of the nation. Qualifying for a major tournament is one thing. Winning a game at a major tournament, their first one, would be another thing. But to beat Portugal as well, former European champions, to get through to the last 16 would be something else altogether. Portugal are making a change at half-time. It's already been done. It's in central midfield, Pat. João Palhinha on a yellow card, not in this game, but from a previous game. So were he to pick up one tonight, would be suspended for the last 16. So they've taken him off and brought Ruben Neves on.
With this referee, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
because he's not for holding back in his cards, and rightly so far. Do you know what? We've started the game here, but the close-up before the start of the second half wasn't Ronaldo. It was the referee. So I think the Portuguese are very unhappy with him at the moment.
But actually, I know sometimes, Pat, you get a bit annoyed, and everyone gets a bit annoyed with referees trying to be the centre of attention. This was for a good reason, though, in terms of the way he's taking 100%. Control of the game. Yeah,
brilliant.
Felix, that was clever. Let the ball run through his legs, but he was tackled on the edge of the box. Georgia Bright red shirts, black shorts, black socks with the red tops, defending the goal away to our right with their legions of fans behind it. They've got defending to do here. Conceição into the box, left-footed shot, big deflection, loops behind, and that's an early Portuguese corner at the start of this second half.
Very clear that the Portuguese, they're going to try and start very, very quickly in this second half. I think Roberto Martinez has had a few words. They want to clip the 100% record here, but really lively start. They're going to try and push these Georgian players right back, right beside their fans who are behind them, trying to keep that ball out of that goal.
Yeah, with the flags draped over the hoardings behind that goal away to our right. The sliding roof is open tonight. Warm night in northwest Germany. Corner comes in, Ronaldo's looking, shots deflected and spins over the bar, and Ronaldo, sat on his backside in the area, again slaps the turf in frustration. Not happening for him tonight.
But brilliant defending again. The bodies that are having to be thrown in front of this, he's kind of falling backwards, but there's 3 players jumped out. It's come off the back of a player. I think it was Diwali, right off his back, threw it over the crossbar, hanging on by a thread, the Georgians just now. 5
Portuguese players lurking around the edge of the 6-yard box. Low delivery into the box, and it's gone wide this time again. Ronaldo was in that 6-yard box. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Danilo Pereira looked like he might have been the one who tried to force it home from close range. It was spinning around. It was between 2 Georgian defenders. He stuck out a right foot. They might have a little look at a potential handball in there, but it happened so quickly, and arms were close to bodies as well.
Yeah, they've not started again yet. The referee's waiting for it. Looked to me as if it'd be a harsh one. Yep, they're going to start again. Really noticeable, the attitude of the Portuguese at the start of this game. Really, really high up the pitch, pushing hard, playing the ball very, very quickly.
Georgia 1, Portugal 0 would take Georgia through in 3rd place to face Spain. England would play Slovakia in the last 16. Portugal would go through as group winners to meet Slovenia. Edge of the box, Portugal again playing this change kit this evening, which is all splashed in light blue. João Felix running into the box, trying to knock it past the defender, collect it the other side, and now Georgia looking to bring it away. They will be dangerous again on the counter. Eyes on Kvaratskhelia moving into space, but it's actually Kitaishvili, the Sturm Graz midfielder, who has it for a second. Plays it to Gvelesiani, who made that fabulous block from the Ronaldo shot in the first half. Then the right back, who's impressed as well, Kakabadze, less impressive that one. Fires the ball forward into the Portuguese half and just gives it away. Diogo Costa in goal for Portugal. 3 centre-backs, Danilo Pereira, Antonio Silva and Gonçalo Inácio. Diogo Dalot and Pedro Neto patrolling the flanks. Ruben Neves alongside João Neves now in central midfield. And then it's Conceição and Felix in support of Cristiano Ronaldo, playing in a 50th game at a major tournament. He's come close to scoring this evening, not scored at this Euros yet, has scored at every single major tournament he's ever played in. Here he is, flag will go up, he's offside. That'll be a free kick for Georgia. So 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. Georgia leading Portugal by 1-0. This is set up beautifully, Pat.
It is brilliantly. And the other thing you remember, Cristiano Ronaldo cannot do anything. He cannot throw up his arms. He cannot put too much pressure on the referee. He's on a yellow just now. He knows this referee won't mess about. He cannot afford to get a red card.
Wow, yeah.
And it's one of those things that must be playing in Roberto Martinez's mind at the moment. Ooh, little chance here.
Yeah, long ball forward over the back of the Portuguese defence. Kvaratskhelia cross, and here he is shooting with his right foot, and he bobbles it into the arms of Diogo Costa, and that was a good chance for Kvaratskhelia.
He just didn't catch it. He bobbled it, and again, we mentioned it early on, down that right-hand side, Kakabadze has been very, very special.
So that could have been 2-0. It's not. It's still 1-0. Cross in from Neto beyond everyone inside the Georgian penalty area. Conceição speeds across to try and keep it in, but he can't do that. So Georgia have Georgi Mamadashvili, the Valencia goalkeeper, making save after save after save for them at this tournament. Back 3 of Gvelesiani, the captain, the most capped international, Kashia, and Lasha Diwali as the 3 centre-backs. Free kick for Georgia as Kvaratskhelia goes down. Took a whack to the back of the head as he jumped for the header. Lokashvili, left-sided wing-back. Kakabadze, who we've been impressed with so far, over on the right. Kochorashvili, Chakvatadze and Kitaishvili in the midfield. And then the 2 who created the goal, well, Mikotadze, who created it, and Kvaratskhelia, who scored it. And here's Kakabadze trying to get away on the right. He won't catch that one. Intercepted and played back to Portugal's keeper Diogo Costa. Czech Republic down to 10 men. Barak sent off in the first half. They need a win tonight to try and get through to the last 16. 0-0 against Turkey at the moment. That's why Turkey are going through in second place and Georgia in third. But if Portugal score, then Hungary are celebrating because they would qualify if Georgia don't win this game, and if Czech Republic don't win as one of the best third place teams, and that would mean that England would meet the Netherlands in the last 16. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. Conceição plays it back to Dalot. Dalot inside right channel to Silva. Silva's the young Benfica centre-back, plays to Conceição. Back it comes here to João Neves. João Neves comes creeping forward, chips a little ball to the left-hand side. There's been a goal in Hamburg, I'm hearing, Masfarouki.
And it has gone the way of Turkey. Remember, they have the man advantage, and now they are up a goal in the second half. It's their captain as well, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, firing in across the face of goal, sort of at the left of the area, into just inside the right-hand post. And we've been saying, Paul Robinson, we were waiting for this goal to come for Turkey, and it has now come, and we expect perhaps them to maybe stretch their lead in the second half as well.
It's a fantastic strike by the captain, Çalhanoğlu. It's a great strike on his left foot from outside the box, on the angle, tight angle. It's been coming. Czechia have been very, very sacrificial in possession. They've sat very deep. They've allowed Turkey possession, but Turkey not really committing many bodies forward because they know that a draw is enough for them. The goalkeeper's done well in the Czechia goal. He's made a couple of saves early in the second half, but he couldn't keep that out. It's a great strike, and it's what Turkey deserve.
So that just as well reinforces Turkey's position in second place in this group at the moment, on 6 points just behind Portugal. Czech Republic 0, Turkey 1, 52 minutes played in Hamburg now.
Yes, spot on, Mas, thank you. Portugal 6 points, Turkey 6 points, but Portugal beat Turkey when they faced each other, so Portugal already the group winners on the head-to-head there. Georgia on 4 points and Czechia on 1 point. They are going out of this tournament. As it stands at the moment in this group, it means England play Slovakia in the last 16. It would change with a Portuguese goal. Mikatadze, centre forward for Georgia. They're looking for a second. Kakabadze's cross. Oh, Kvaratskhelia got a touch, and it's wide of goal. For some reason, Costa's kept that in play. Crossing towards Kvaratskhelia, doesn't find him, and Portugal will be able to eventually try and clear from the right-back position, but they're struggling to bring this ball away. That is Lokoshvili, who's gone down inside the penalty area. The referee's telling him to get up, because if that is a foul, that would be a penalty. VAR will have a look. Portugal continue to play down the right.
I think the referee will look at that again. He must think about that, because that's one of two things. That's a penalty or that's a yellow card for a dive.
Yeah, exactly, Pat. Here's Conceição. Diminutive figure. Where's number 26 for Portugal? Rolls it back to Felix. Not enough pace on the pass. Felix was caught as he made the cross. That's looped up in the air. Neto controls it. Plays it out to the left-hand side. A little bit of space for Dalot. Central position. Curling shot. Brilliant save. Mamardashvili diving to his left, but using his right hand to stretch across his body and tip it behind for a corner. Now the Georgians go rushing to surround the referee because they are asking for VAR to have a look at the challenge at the other end of the field on Lokoshvili, and it does say on our screen, Pat, checking for potential penalty, potential foul.
Do you know what? It is one of them. It's either a penalty or else. Again, I've seen it again, and I'm not sure.
I think that's a penalty.
He's touched him, yeah.
I think that's a penalty. He's caught him.
He has touched him. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big call, that one.
Antonio Silva's the defender now.
I think he's made a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely.
He's made a lot of it.
Oh, he's coming to have a look. This is a huge moment in this game in Group F. And the Georgian players at the moment, their captain, as the referee comes over to the monitor, is waving both arms at the Georgian fans and saying, we want more from you. We want more. What a moment this could be if they can get themselves 2-0 ahead. We're looking again at close-ups of the challenge. It's a swing from Silva. He misses the ball. He catches the shin of Lokoshvili lightly. And Lokoshvili, you're right, Pat, sort of goes tumbling to the floor quite theatrically.
I hope he turns it down.
Really?
I really hope he turns it down, because he's tried to take his foot away.
Penalty.
That's hard.
The referee has changed his mind. He's seen the contact, and Georgia have a penalty. Georgia, in their first major tournament, leading Portugal by 1-0, could get themselves 2-0 in front, and a win here takes them through to the last 16. What a moment.
Well, letter of the law, if you touch him there and he goes down and you feel as if that's affected his run, then you give a penalty. But the way that he has gone into tackle and then pulled his foot away as quickly as he could to try not to make the tackle, that's what makes me feel very, very sorry for the defender. Referee's not seen it that way and is within his rights to make the decision. But that's harsh.
No, it's really well described, Pat, absolutely. And I think when people see it, they will be divided, because there is contact. He's had a swing, he's missed the ball, he's caught the man, but he's not caught him hard.
And he's tried to pull his foot out of the way immediately.
Yeah. And
what a moment we have, though.
And Lokashvili has made sure that the referee has eventually seen the contact. He didn't give it initially, obviously was sent to the monitor. Now then, George Mikotadze will take the penalty. He's already scored one in this tournament. There's been a long delay before taking this penalty. 50,000 eyes bearing down on him. The Georgian fans are way to our right. They're at the far end from where this is being taken. Mikotadze in his bright red Georgian shirt with a chance to put them 2-0 up, and he's found the bottom corner. Costa went the right way, but he couldn't keep it out, and Georgia are heading for the biggest result in their history. They lead Portugal by 2-0. The captain Casilla puts his hands on his head. He looks back at the Georgian fans, cavorting with joy, and I don't think he can quite believe what is happening here. He thumps his heart underneath his Georgian shirt, and Mikotadze at the other end is underneath a whole heap of his teammates. Coolness personified from the penalty spot. Georgia 2, Portugal 0.
Do you know what, though? The keeper gets so close. There's a lot of missiles being thrown at the Georgian players there. They're up right beside the Portuguese fans, but they're ignoring it completely. They don't know it. They don't care in the slightest about it just now. They had a couple of chances before that, before the penalty kick. They were still breaking, looking very dangerous on the break. But what excitement here. The Portuguese nearly scored a cracker of a goal. Well, they broke away from that possible penalty kick before it was given. Keeper made another one of those world-class saves of his. There is so much happening. And by the way, this game is not over.
No, it's not over. Georgia leading 2-0. We've only played 12 minutes in the second half. Turkey 1-0 up against the Czech Republic, still qualifying in second place. But again, doesn't really matter how many goals Georgia score here, because Turkey will finish ahead of Georgia on the head-to-head record in this group. But the key thing is they've got a 2-goal cushion. They know a win takes them through to the last 16. So this is not looking good for Hungary at the moment. Danilo Pereira for Portugal, but as Pat was saying, over half an hour to play in the game. Joao Felix, ball at his feet, edge of the Georgian box, just bobbles a pass into the box, and look at the Casilla clearance there. Just put everything he had into that, launched it up into the sky, almost through the retractable roof. And now Georgia battling for it on the right-hand side. Mikotadze, the centre-forward, has got it, plays it infield to Kitaishvili. Back they come, they've got control of this game. And Kochorashvili, the central midfielder, just plays back into his own half.
Look at the confidence of the Georgians now. I mean, they were really finding it difficult to get on the ball. When you're 2-0 up, it's amazing how much easier it gets. Phenomenal. They hold the ball well. But if you've got Cristiano Ronaldo and players of, that they've got there, not only on the pitch but on the bench, you can take nothing for granted if you're Georgian.
Mikotadze, that's his third goal in the tournament, Pat. I don't think anyone's got any more than that. Producer George has just passed me the notes, so he's on for the golden boot as well.
That is phenomenal. I mean, honestly, you cannot write that story.
Incredible.
And again, the keeper nearly gets it, doesn't he? Yeah. He goes down Diogo Costa, and you think I thought he saved it as the ball went in. It's just gone under him, and the powers beat the keeper.
Let's not forget, Portugal already through as group winners. How are they going to respond to this? Pride has definitely been stung. Cross comes into the Georgian penalty area. Roberto Martinez, the manager, looking extremely nonplussed with arms crossed.
Well, there's a question though. Does Roberto say, right, I'm going to really go for it now? Does he? They're already through.
Yeah.
Does he want to exhaust his players?
No.
Take a chance with anyone?
Suits Georgia. Cross comes into that Georgian penalty area. Ronaldo's down again inside the box. Again, it's that frustrated shake of the head. Sat down with his arms leaning on his knees, complains to the referee again, but as you were saying, Pat, on the yellow card, he can't go too strong with that.
Yeah. No, there's not enough in that. Not a chance. No way that's a penalty kick.
One in the first half could have been, though, couldn't it?
Yeah,
Pat?
there was absolutely 100%. Yeah, total fairness in that.
5 Live and BBC Sounds, another night of drama at the Euros. 2 days off from the Euros, and then we're back with the last 16 starting on Saturday. Switzerland against Italy kicks off at 5 o'clock in Berlin. Pat and I will be there. That is magnificent from Georgia, coming out of their own half. Kvaratskhelia wants early delivery from the right. High lofted ball towards him. Portugal think they have him covered. What a first touch. Velvet first touch. Brings it down. Tricks it onto his right foot. Dummies the shot. Portuguese defenders falling at his feet, and eventually Dalot gets a foot in and makes the tackle, but Georgia have it and keep it and come back to Diwali on the halfway line.
And since the penalty kick, they've been the better side. They've held the ball quite well, as I say that. They give it away, but they've got into really dangerous positions. Now here's an interesting thing. We're not, 60 minutes, we're an hour into it, and there's a Georgian player going down with cramp. That doesn't shock me. They have worked so incredibly hard here. Every single run's been 100 miles an hour. I don't think that's faking it. I honestly don't. I think he's struggling there a little bit. I'm trying to see who it is. I've just got up there.
It's Lokashvili, the left wing back, Pat.
And of course he's come on as he didn't start the last game. I'm trying to think if he's one of the ones that
he's coming to the team today.
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
You're
right. Yeah. Just thinking as well, Pat, in terms of games involving Portugal at major tournaments, I think the last one we did together in Qatar was Morocco's famous win against them in the quarterfinals,
which was fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, just nothing against Portugal, but the Moroccans were a joy with their effort.
Yeah. Portugal, though, are a mighty scalp, and Georgia at the moment are taking it. Conceição on the dribble for Portugal. Good cross, no. Beyond everyone, actually. I thought that was heading to Neto at the far post. He couldn't reach it. It's gone out for a throw-in to Georgia. We're into the last half hour of the game, and Georgia are leading Portugal by 2-0. What's happening in the game between Czech Republic and Turkey, Maz Faruqi?
Turkey still lead by 1-0, Ali, against the 10 men of the Czech Republic. Triple sub made by the Czech Republic as well. One of those in force after conceding that Turkey goal. The keeper went down, had a period of treatment, then had to come off with what looks like a dislocated shoulder. So Stanjek's had to be replaced by Kovac. 2 other substitutions though as well. We think Paul Robinson, just to try and inject a bit of energy into this Czech Republic side who looks short of ideas at the moment to get back in this game.
Yeah, they're going very direct, and the substitutions would suggest that as well. They've brought on 6'6" Thomas Corey, and they're going very direct now from back to front. They've got to get something from this game where they are in the group at the moment. They can't afford to lose this game. They know that Turkey are comfortable. They're comfortable in possession, but the Czechs are looking for set plays. They're looking for throw-ins, and it's not pretty from them at the moment, and they're making no apologies for doing that.
And we've just got a pause in play here. It's going to be a set-piece opportunity for the Czech Republic, just on the edge of the Turkey 18-yard box. But Turkey still second at the moment, ahead of Georgia, despite that second goal for Georgia in your game, Ali.
Yeah, that's right, Maz. Back to you if anything happens. Lokashvili, who went down with cramp, has come off. Sitaishvili has come on, who is the replacement left wing-back. And Georgia leading Portugal by 2-0. Kvaratskhelia in the second minute of the game. Mikatadze from the penalty spot, a very debatable penalty. Referee sent to the monitor by the video assistant referee, changed his mind on the decision. Antonio Silva flicked out a leg, tried to drag it away, but made contact and the penalty was given.
You're not going to like this referee if you're Portuguese, are you? You're going to think everything's been done against you. And to be honest, he's looked at them and he's just thought, no, I'm not having what you're doing. I'm not having you diving about, you're rolling about. And whether that's kind of affected 1 or 2 other decisions, you know, particularly not giving Ronaldo a penalty, and they've been given a penalty which was, you know, soft-ish, but probably by the letter of the law, still a penalty kick.
Could be another interesting moment coming. Gonçalo Ramos, the Paris Saint-Germain striker, is getting ready to come on. I wonder whether that will be a switch in for Cristiano Ronaldo, or whether he'll go up front alongside him. Maybe it was agreed before the game. Ronaldo will not want to leave at 2-0 down, having not been able to make the impact he wants. Looks crestfallen at the moment. Ronaldo just walking on the edge of the penalty area, waving his arm in the air, wanting Portugal to try and get the ball towards him. It's going to be a double change for them. Nelson Semedo's coming on as well, working it into the box. Little layoff towards Felix. Sliding challenge, wins it for Georgia. Kvaratskhelia, really clever turn under pressure. 3 men on him there inside his own half, and he's still held onto the ball. Now he's dribbling. Honestly, he's taking it through the whole team. That's 4-5 players he's beaten. Eventually he's fouled. Genius.
Do you know, I said early on in this game, this is a star, an absolute star. I mean, as he is young, he's going to get better, but he has got everything, and he's just a joy to watch. Skill, player, pace, vision, you name it. absolutely magnificent, this lad.
Not to be for Cristiano Ronaldo. He knows his team is in trouble. Team man, he's handed the captain's armband over. 50th appearance at a major international tournament. No one's ever done that before. Not to be for Ronaldo tonight, but we are going to see Portugal in the last 16. Gonçalo Ramos is on, and Nelson Semedo has come on for Antonio Silva. And you really feel for Antonio Silva, and I feel slightly responsible, having said at the start of the game how much I was looking forward to watching him, and he gave the ball away in the second minute for the Georgian goal, and he gave the penalty away as well, and Ronaldo just kicks at the ground in frustration as he disappears from our view and into that Portugal dugout. 25 minutes to play, 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and quite a story developing here. Really is one of the shock results, not just at this Euros but at any Euros, as Portugal look to try and get themselves back in the game. Cross into that Georgian penalty area. Ramos jumps. Conceição with a left foot drive over the bar, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Another goal in Hamburg. Masfaruki.
Well, the 10 men of the Czech Republic are level. It's their captain, Thomas Souček, who's wheeling away celebrating. He pounced quickest on a rebound in the Turkey area, where they failed to clear their box, Paul Robinson. And you were saying they were going to go for Route 1 football, and it seems to have paid off. We're probably going to have a VAR check here, but at the moment this one stands.
I think, we're looking at a VAR check because it's Corey who's just come on, the big 6'6" striker. It's a long throw. It's from halfway inside the half. It's Kufal with a long throw. Corey in front of the goalkeeper. Turkish players are complaining that there's a foul on the goalkeeper. The referee hasn't given it yet. It's going to VAR. Thomas Souček got the easiest of tasks. Taps it into an empty net, and at the moment it's 1-1, but we're still waiting on this VAR check.
I think VAR are looking for potential offside in the build-up before Souček powers the ball into the back of the net, Ali. So come back to us, we'll keep you posted. 1-1 at the moment.
We will. So potentially a Czech Republic equaliser. Now, if the Czech Republic won tonight and Georgia won tonight, Turkey are going home. Georgia leading Portugal by 2-0. Hungary would also be out of it, as they are at the moment, and it's very much looking like England-Slovakia here on Sunday, 5 o'clock kickoff. Portugal have won a corner, so Roberto Martinez has made the changes, and Portugal do look intent on getting back into this game, Pat.
It is one of those ones to underline to anyone, in particular if you're a Hungarian listening. This isn't, Portugal not trying a leg, they are.
Cross comes in from Conceição, headed up in the air. Attempted overhead kick is considered dangerous there. Georgian defender's gone down, caught by João Neves, who was trying the acrobatics. That is going to be a free kick for Georgia. We're going to need to get the group table up as well, I think, because if the Czech Republic score again and go ahead, we'll then have to see what that means between the Czech Republic and Georgia in this group, because those two shared a 1-1 draw, so they're going to be level on the head-to-head, which means it's going to go to things like goal difference and goals scored. But as it stands at the moment, Portugal going through as group winners. That was always going to be the case. Turkey going through in second place and Georgia in third. But does that Czech Republic goal stand? Have we got more drama on our hands, Maz?
It does stand. So it is 10 men of Czech Republic 1, Turkey 1. Turkey do still remain second despite conceding this goal, Ali, in second spot behind Portugal. But that Thomas Souček effort does stand, Paul Robinson. And now the Turkey bench getting booked as well by this referee for protesting that decision. This referee's in danger of losing a bit of control in this match now.
Yeah, he's dishing out yellow cards left, right and centre. The goal went in, the goal was given, and there's complaints on the Turkey bench, and he quickly proceeded to run over there, and I think he's booked 3 players that not entered the pitch and one of the coaching staff as well. So there's a lot of yellow cards for us to keep up with tonight, but as predicted, it was a long throw, a set play that got Czechia back in this game, and it's given him a little bit of confidence, a little bit of belief. I think we'll see him sticking to that game plan. They'll be going long into Corey, who caused the problem in front of the goalkeeper, and they'll be looking for more set plays and more direct balls.
Remember though, the draw is not enough for the Czech Republic to stay in this tournament. 69 minutes played, it's 1-1, but they need to win the Czech Republic.
Yeah, the drama developing there is if Czech Republic were to win that game and Georgia to win this game, then Turkey, having started the day in second place of these final group games, would be going home. Portugal come looking to get themselves back into this game. They've gone wide to Conceição. Georgia have pretty much everyone behind the ball, bar Mikatadze, the centre forward. Conceição is running across the Georgian half, passes it sweetly with his left foot to Inacio. Inacio works this one wide, and Neto starts a speedy little run. He's stopped in his tracks, gets the ball back to Inacio. Here's Neto again. Neto with his left foot, low pass to Ruben Neves. Across it comes to Dallo, 30 yards out. Thought about the chip ball into the penalty area, decided against it and plays it to Conceição. Semedo makes the run outside him. Conceição crosses in with his left foot. Kasia leaps, heads it up in the air. His goalkeeper Mamadashvili right behind him, and then it's thumped away by Sitaishvili into the Portuguese half. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, and they're fighting, they're battling, they're chasing. Every tackle's a last-ditch one. Portuguese, to be honest, have not panicked. They've kept on passing it neatly. They're not really getting beyond that defence line, are they? And the difference being every single tackle a Georgian makes, it's life dependent, you know. And if you're playing against that, you know that can be painful. You know that can maybe injure you. So you can see a little bit of uncertainty. You know, when you're going through the 50-50s, you're not quite seeing quite the same intensity from the Portuguese.
Dalot's ball with his right foot finds Conceição. Conceição heads for the byline, off balance, crosses it into the box. Ramos stretches to try and reach it. It is towed away. Kept in play on the right by João Neves, and he runs away from Kocharashvili. There will be some very tired Georgian players out there. 20 minutes to go, and if Portugal can get themselves a goal back, then the pressure will really build, and Hungary will still be hoping that they're going to be a part of this tournament. Cross comes in from João Neves, blocked at close range by Kvaratskhelia. Chip towards Mitadze. Oh, it's opening up for Georgia. Look at this. Chak Mitadze has the run of the Portuguese half. He's quick as well. Charging into the penalty area. Hits the shot with the right foot wide of the target. Just decided to have a go. Two men desperately trying to get up with him. He certainly met it with good power, but he didn't test Diogo Costa.
He did. I mean, he was being chased down, but I mean, they are lethal on the break. Absolutely phenomenal. Because it's not just that one goes or two goes. They've got two up front anyway. But the players that fly out from the kind of wing-back positions and the midfield positions, and they don't just jog up, they hammer up there. Great opportunity there. It's a shame he didn't get it on target. But it just shows you for the Portuguese, if they took too many chances, they make the right decisions, the Georgians. It's never just lumped.
Nope.
It's played beautifully through the midfield.
Into the last 20 minutes, Georgia getting ready to make another change, leading Portugal incredibly by 2-0. What a performance this by Georgia. Sitaishvili is trodden on accidentally by Semedo. He has gone down. That is going to be a free kick to Georgia. Last 16 games then, as it stands, England would play Slovakia, Spain would play Georgia, Romania, having won Group E today, would play the Netherlands, and Portugal would face Slovenia, as well as Switzerland, Italy, Germany, Denmark, France, Belgium, and Austria against Turkey as it stands. That is how the last 16 will line up with those 8 ties. Great sight in this stadium as well, because the Georgian fans, sort of en masse, not all of them, but I'd say 100 or so, have decided to get the old lights up on the mobile phones. Night sky above us, through the open sliding roof in this modern bowl of a stadium built back in 2001, hosted games in the World Cup at 2006. England will be here on Sunday. Don't miss that one. 5 o'clock kickoff for England against Slovakia, it's looking like at the moment. And if England win that game, then it would be the winners of Switzerland or Italy. Here's Conceição. Conceição up to the edge of the Georgian penalty area. So many red shirts in his way. Kocharashvili just throws Conceição out of his way, having blocked the cross to go and try and win the next one. Portugal waiting to make another change as well. Diogo Jota ready to come on for them. Here's Inacio. Inacio's low ball to Neto, hugging that left-hand touchline. Fancies a run at Kakabadze, gets the cross in. High, long, kept in play by Conceição. Down by the byline on the right. Gets it onto his left foot, scoops across into the far post. Mamardashvili stretches high and plucks the ball out of the sky. And listen to the reaction, Pat, of the Georgian fans.
Yeah, they're under a huge amount of pressure there. Another Georgian goes down with cramp, and the last one wasn't acting, because he would get taken straight off afterwards. He had nothing left, and they have worked so hard, every single one of them, and you just wonder, can they manage it? Yeah. Can they get to the end of this game? Well, with the goalkeeper, though, there's nothing to worry there. He has not put a finger at place. He has been magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this game, and he'll have added to these stats tonight, Georgia had faced 47 shots in the first 2 games, 20 on target, and he'd made 16 saves. Now, he's certainly added to that already this evening. Hugely important. Valencia's goalkeeper, and Georgia leading Portugal by 2-0. Jota is on for Portugal. They are looking to bring Mateus Nunes on as well. Jota on for Neto. That's the latest change for Portugal. Georgia will be making a couple of changes as well, and all the reaction to this, the analysis in the Football Daily podcast for you, available via the BBC Sounds app as always. Couple of specials on the Football Daily feed as well, so if you're not subscribed, you really should. Kelly Cates in conversation with Wayne Rooney. We heard some of that in the show earlier on today. Fascinating listen. Obviously a man who's been at these major tournaments for England and been in England teams that haven't been playing well and trying to deal with the pressure of that. Wayne Rooney very good on that. And Mark Chapman has sat down with Frank Lampard as well. I've not heard that as yet, but I'm told that is really worth a listen. So Georgia 2, Portugal 0. Turkey, Czech Republic. Maz Faruqi.
Coming up to 15 minutes plus stoppage time in Hamburg. It is still Czech Republic 1, Turkey 1. A result which, if it stays like this, is enough for Turkey, not enough for the Czech Republic. And they're making a couple more subs now here, the Czech Republic, Turkey and the Czech Republic, taking off some of their younger players, bringing on some more experienced players. One of those that's leaving the field is number 8, Arda Güleş for Turkey, Paul. And Turkey here, I think, recognising that the Czech Republic have got some momentum in this game at the moment.
Yeah, they've played well, the two youngsters out in the wide, but I think with Tosun coming on, Yilmaz will go over to this right-hand side where he's playing now. He's spent a lot of the time there. He's played as a 9 as Yilmaz, but he's pulled out onto this right-hand side, so he'll go into a more natural right-hand side position. Tosun will play down the middle, and he'll just give him that focal point and just give him that out ball.
It is all still to play then in this group. Czech Republic pushing for the win. 1-1 in Hamburg, 76 minutes played.
Georgia 2, Portugal 0. Incredible scoreline, incredible performance from Georgia. This man, Kvaratskhelia as well, trying to get away down the left. This time he's stopped. Mateus Nunes gets his first touch of the game. Ruben Neves on as a half-time sub, trotting forward with the ball. Just plays it to his left. Conceição's moved over to the left. Jota's in the inside right channel for Portugal at the moment. Georgia 14 minutes away, plus a bit of added time from a famous win and a place in the knockout stages here at Euro 2024. And as it stands, a game against Spain. Here's Jota. Jota's little ball forward to Ramos. Nunes now lays it back to Dalot. One touch, sweeps it to his right to Semedo. Semedo into the feet of Jota, slightly miscontrolled. Dalot rescues the situation, plays it to Nunes on the right. Nunes back to Dalot. Patience from Portugal at the moment. Nunes wide on the right. Red shirts in front of him everywhere he looks. Dalot, low pass across the face of the Georgian penalty area. Wide it comes to Felix, avoids the challenge, slightly slips here. Ball loose on the edge of the box. Neves has lost it. Here's the danger for Portugal. Look at the red shirt sweeping forward again. Kvaratskhelia, the man they're always looking for. Got an old school look about him as well.
Yeah.
He's got a Pat Nevin look about him, actually, doesn't he?
Except for he's 6 foot tall.
Well, apart from that, socks rolled down. There's the cross into the penalty area from Sitaishvili, and Georgia have won a corner. The pattern of the game, Pat, is fabulous to watch, isn't it?
It's so intriguing, and it's, you know, it's a style you've got, and it's not sitting in deep and being dull and boring. It's very much not that. It's understanding you're not going to get a lot of the ball if you're Georgia, but when you get it, you're brave. And you're brave to leave 2 players up, and you're brave to go and support, and you're brave to get players flying on from the wide areas. And they've made some changes. Quick Velia's come on, the big centre half, number 5.
Yes.
And by the way, he's a big tall lad. He's going to attack this corner kick.
Corner for Georgia, leading 2-0. If they get a third, well, surely it is all over. Corner comes into the near post. If they were to concede in the next few minutes or so, then it is going to get very, very nervy. The ball comes back to the Portuguese goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. Drives it forward with his left foot. Mamadashvili's long clearance downfield. Sitaishvili battles for it. Now Costa has it. Portuguese keeper slings it out, all in yellow. Portugal desperate to get the game moving. And they bring the ball forward into the Georgian half. Here's Neves. Georgian fans deciding to jeer the Portuguese possession to put them off their game. Cross comes in, and that is beyond the far post, beyond Jota, and it goes out for the goal kick to Georgia.
This is first time I've thought, I'm not sure the Portuguese believe now. I'm not sure they do, because, you know, no one hammered in to get in there, you know, into the box. The ball was played in. It's a good ball to attack. So Jota's obviously come on there, but, you know, they know that every time they go and fly forward, they're going to get broken on, and broken on brilliantly by technically very, very good players, and players who, well, whatever they had for breakfast this morning, I want some of it, because they haven't stopped running, have they?
Well, I'll tell you what, Pat, by the time you got going on the back 9 this morning in the golf, I think you did all right on your breakfast. Pat with a clutch up and down par on the 18th to make sure he shared the spoils with our producer Rob Schofield, and left me with absolutely nothing from the game we played this morning, apart from great memories. And these could be great memories for Georgia here. They're leading Portugal by 2-0, and it means England will be playing Slovakia in this stadium on Sunday at 5 o'clock. Felix, little scoop pass into the box, finds Jota. Jota immediately surrounded by defenders, tackled, and it goes behind for a corner. The other point to make about the draw, and I think lots of listeners will be aware of this, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, all in one half of the draw, away from England and Italy, actually, in the other half of the draw. But then, you know, you look at other teams in this tournament, like Georgia tonight, like Austria, you cannot take anyone for granted. 10 minutes to play plus added time. Portuguese corner, trailing 2-0. Neves' delivery, headed away, edge of the box, chested down by Semedo, hits the volley, and again out like a flash to block. It was Chakvetadze, and Georgia can't come away on the break. That'll be a throw-in for Portugal.
But had they got that under control, they were flying away again. Honestly, they're a delight to watch as a football team. And you would, again, one of the things, I always say this, you want to get a team you hate to play against, you would hate to play against them. They'll listen to the applause that this man's going to get when he comes off.
Oh yeah, Kvaratskhelia is coming off, and that's a shame, because we've absolutely loved watching him, but it looks like we're going to see him again in this tournament. Georgia heading through to the last 16 as it stands. They are going to save his legs at the end of the game. So 2 players coming on. First of those is Anzor Mekvabishvili, who's a defensive midfielder, plays in the middle of the park, started the first 2 games for Georgia, and the change up front is Zuriko Davitashvili. Comes on for Kvaratskhelia, who is getting hugged and backslapped by every single member of that Georgian bench, and quite rightly too. Into the last 10 minutes of the game, Georgia leading Portugal 2-0. Czech Republic 1, Turkey 1. Czech Republic going home. Turkey still qualifying in second. Cross into the box, oh that was danger, and Ramos just couldn't get the contact he wanted with the header. It's run away to the left-hand side, it's just thumped downfield. The substitute Davitashvili will chase hard, but he won't be able to catch that, and Portugal can start to build.
He may be a good player, Davitashvili, but he won't be as good as the man he's replaced. Not many will be. But I mean, the effort's there, the work rate's there, and the technical ability. Do not ignore that technical ability you're seeing from this Georgian side just now, because they play it out and they hold it and they believe in themselves.
And some people, Pat, I think quite sniffy about Georgia's place in this tournament because of the way they've changed the qualification. They came through those playoffs because of their Nations League rank, and they were miles behind the likes of Scotland, even behind Norway, who aren't here in the group. But look at what they're doing. Look at what they're bringing to this tournament. Dalot to Felix, Portugal still trying everything. Ball played to the edge of the penalty area. Mateus Nunes across to Conceição, fabulous tackle. How good has he been on the right? Kakabadze still with the energy to drive down the right-hand touchline and win Georgia a throw.
He actually looks as if he'd just come on 3 minutes ago. Brilliant tackle. Conceição's going over the other side, he's going to try on the left-hand side now. But he is so lively, he's so sharp. Not only does he win the tackle, he wants to pin his ears back and go for the byline again. Georgia
have taken the throw. They look to launch a long ball towards the edge of the Portuguese penalty area. It's blocked. Inacio does really well to control it. Danilo Pereira, short pass forward, intercepted on the halfway line by Georgia, still leading Portugal by 2-0. They keep that ball in play. Got to be careful if you're going for the back pass here, and Kakabadze sensibly decides not to do that, but has conceded the throw, which Portugal take quickly. So much talent out on that pitch for Portugal, but at the moment being humbled by Georgia. Cross comes in, that's going to be over the bar and behind for the goal kick. Time for your German word, the feature across the 5 Live Football Daily in the breakfast programme. Rick Edwards you'll hear live out here in Germany every morning from 6 o'clock UK time. And the answer, he gives the word in the breakfast show, German word that has football connections, or a sort of English football phrase that we will use, an idiom or a cliche as such, and then the answer is revealed in the Football Daily podcast the following day. And the word today, which does link to this game, Georgia not hanging on at the moment, but desperate to win this game, leading 2-0. Torschlusspanik is the word, and I think the last little bit of that word gives you a clue. It's another Sir Alex Ferguson phrase that I think he brought into the football lexicon. And there's a foul there on Mateus Nunes, but advantage is played, and Nelson Semedo drives it forward for Portugal. Nunes follows his pass out to the right, can't do anything with it. Georgia are handling this quite brilliantly. One of the players gets booked for a challenge earlier on in the move. That was the challenge that the referee played advantage on. So he's
absolutely right to do that. That was a silly challenge. They were breaking, but there were plenty of red shirts back there, and he just slightly panicked there, and the substitute who's just come on is going to get booked.
Just imagine at moments like this as well, Pat. I think I said it when Kvaratskhelia scored in the second minute of the game. What the scenes must be like in Georgia, back home for the fans not here who are listening or watching.
And a wonderful place as well. Tbilisi is a fabulous city.
Mikotadze, well, they'll be going absolutely bonkers. Oh, I'll tell you what, they might be able to get themselves another one. The shot's into the side netting. That was Davitashvili running onto the pass. Clever pass from Mikotadze. He's played really well to link it for Georgia. The angle was tight and he couldn't get it on target.
Yeah, no, and the temptation is just to talk about Kvaratskhelia. You know, you can't just talk about him all the time. There is too many other players here that have been absolutely superb tonight for that Georgian side, all the way through the team. They've all been heroes, but they still are not there yet.
They're not there yet. 5 minutes plus added time remaining, and they've still got to deal with this Portuguese team coming at them hard. Portugal already through as group winners. Georgia keeping them at bay, keeping this clean sheet at the moment. Goalkeeper Mamardashvili, everyone in front of him has been absolutely brilliant. And I'll tell you what, the celebrations at the end of this game, if they get the job done, will be quite something. Portuguese possession at the moment. They've lost it though. Georgia can try and spring another counter. The ball is fired forward into the Portuguese half. Mikotadze has the energy, has the desire to get there, and now he's got Danilo Pereira backing off, but he's going to slow it down and he's going to play back to Sitashvili.
That's the first negative pass I think I've seen them playing tonight. When they get into a dangerous area, he could have taken the defender on 1-for-1, but he's gone back and held the ball, which is very intelligent, very clever, but not very Georgian tonight, because every other time, and by the way, as I say that, they've kept the ball beautifully, killed a little bit of the game off. It's the right thing to do.
Next break in play will take you back to Hamburg. 10-man Czech Republic looking for a goal that would also take them through to the last 16. They're currently 1-1 against Turkey, but it's just engrossing watching this as Georgia are almost toying with Portugal. Kakabadze is fouled. He's done brilliantly for his team again. Georgia win the free kick. They will slow it down. Maz Faruqi.
3.5 minutes plus stoppage time to play in Hamburg. It is still the 10 men of the Czech Republic drawing 1-1 against Turkey. Okay Yokuşlu just firing wider over the crossbar of the Czech Republic goal in the last couple of minutes. Turkey, remember, just need the draw to progress to the last 16. Czech Republic pushing Paul Robinson, and more yellow cards being handed out left, right and centre by this referee. It's chaotic now.
Well, the referee's a joke. I think he's booked everybody on each bench so far at the moment. It's really hard to keep up with. He's lost control of the game. But you've got to give Czechia a real lot of amount of credit the second half, the way they approach this with 10 men. They know they're going out the tournament, but they're going down with a real fight. They're having a real good go, and we're in for a really interesting last couple of minutes in injury time.
Yeah, and if the Czech Republic were to score, as Ali was saying, it would really mix things up in this group. The Czech Republic will be going through, Turkey will be going out, so that's why it's so important for Turkey to concentrate in the last couple of minutes. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in Hamburg.
Yes, across both games in the last few minutes. Dramatic end to Group F. I tell you what, Georgia look more likely at the moment to get a third goal. They're leading Portugal by 2-0. This will be one of the greatest shocks in the European Championship history, Pat.
Absolutely, you could not see this coming. Unless they did play, they weren't. In the other games they were competitive and they were an exciting team to watch. Did I think they have quite the quality of they've shown tonight? No. They have played out of their skins, every single player, and sometimes you need that. Everybody has to bring their A game. Well, every single player has, and those fans over there to the right, they are loving every single second of it. You almost can't wait to hear that noise at the end, because they're going to explode.
They're leading by 2-0, and they're heading towards a last 16 encounter against Spain. They cannot have dreamed, well, they will have dreamed of that, but they can't really have imagined that was going to happen, but they're so close to pulling it off. 89th minute of the game, and their manager, not even mentioned him tonight, Willy Sagnol, former French international, played in the World Cup final in Germany in 2006, which France eventually lost on penalties. Played lots of club football in Germany for Bayern Munich as well, a Champions League winner. Well, I think this tonight will probably cap all of that. Here's Mateus Nunes on the ball for Portugal, corner of the Georgian box, heading towards the 90th minute. Georgia leading Portugal by 2-0. Nunes, curling cross, that's too high, and again behind it goes for the goal kick to Georgia.
Early on in the game, the Portuguese were getting down the right and the left, putting really dangerous crosses in. They don't seem to believe in it now. They're just kind of dollied into the back post. They don't believe they can get past this keeper, and Mamardashvili, he just looks so comfortable out there. And what a lift he gives to the defenders in front of him. And he's giving a wee lift to those fans as well just now.
So as it stands, Georgia heading through to the last 16. Their fans waiting to explode with joy. Hungary heading home, finishing third in Scotland's group. But it looks like their 3 points not going to be enough. Scotland's 2 points, Pat, we were talking about that on the night of their final group game was never going to be enough
No
for them.
chance. A lot of people were suggesting to me that they should stick with 2 points instead of trying to go, and win it late on, Stevie Clark, and then losing it. Not a hope. You're never getting through with 2.
No, Scotland made the right call to go for it. Didn't manage to do it. 12 major tournaments for them. They've not managed to get through to the group stages. And they'll look on at Georgia tonight in a first major tournament, and they're on the brink of doing it. We're into added time at the end of the game, so Portugal have 4 minutes to try and score 2 goals. That really hasn't looked like it's going to happen. Georgia are 4 minutes away from creating some very special football history. Turkey are going to go through in second place as things stand. Portugal as group winners. Georgia in third will face Spain, and England will play Slovakia in the last 16 rather than the Netherlands. Now Georgia have just got to concentrate. You can see from up here just how tired they are, dragging their bodies across the field at the moment to try and block these passes and make the tackles. Joao Felix still trying the tricks on the edge of the box. That's a better ball, far post. Semedo knocks it down. Oh, Mamadashvili got a crucial hand to that, and then falls on the ball and clutches it. Portugal appeal for a penalty. I think they think that Mamadashvili has knocked that onto the hand of one of his defenders.
I must admit, I thought that at first glance as well. Ball's played back, great save, hits it out. No, there's no handball there. I think they're maybe talking about even a pass back as well, but it comes off his knee. It's not a pass back, there's nothing wrong with it. They can breathe again.
Well, Pat, you were talking about it with Scotland in terms of, to get through a group and to get the wins they needed, every man had to be absolutely at 100%. That's what Georgia have been tonight, haven't they?
A game, everybody.
A game.
And it's easy to say, and it's so hard to do.
Here's a cross into the Georgian penalty area, and again, it's a desperate lunge to clear it.
Isn't it great if you can actually cheer every throw-in, free kick, lump up the park?
Right, Portugal come again. Kirk Valia blocked it. He's still limping, but he's back on his feet, walking wounded. Jota's ball to Felix, edge of the box. Again, red shirts just no way through, just scissored in on him and blocked his left-footed shot. Dalot collects the ball for Portugal. They've given it everything they've got, really. Some of the final delivery hasn't been the best. Couple of minutes to go. They're trailing by 2-0. Felix's cross again with his right foot. Brilliant header away from Cashier. Mateus Nunes, little switch pass here. Conceição, driven shot. Oh, Ramos couldn't get a touch at the far post. Jota stuck a foot out. He couldn't connect. Ramos couldn't connect. It's going to be Georgia's night.
Certainly not going to be Portuguese night there. That looked like a tap in at the back post. There was probably a little flick on the way through there. I'm trying to see it again. There was.
Yeah.
And that's taken it away from them.
It was almost a brilliantly improvised finish from Jota with that little sort of back heel drag, just a connection on the ball. But you're right, Pat, had he not touched it, Ramos is there, then it's 2-1.
Yeah, you need a little bit of luck now and again, and the Georgians have had it now and again, but they have deserved that bit of luck that they've got now and again, just with the work rate, just with the way they've done the tactics, have been superb.
Players urging each other on for Georgia, fans urging them on, players urging fans on, fans urging fans on. Just an absolutely united effort from the Georgian national football team, and we are now a minute away from one of the biggest shocks in European Championship history. An incredible result for Georgia, a 2-0 win against Portugal, which doesn't affect Portugal. They still go through as the group winners. But goodness me, what an achievement this is going to be for Georgia. Last minute of the game, you can hear their fans, the songs ringing around this arena as their team continues to defend. Dalot's shot! Oh, Mamadashvili again! He's a human wall, he can't be beaten, throws himself to his left and palms it behind for the corner.
You're wasting your time trying to... It's ridiculous. I mean, even the save he made when it ended up being a penalty up the other end, I think it was probably the best save I've seen in the tournament this time round, but he has been unstoppable.
20 seconds away, can they keep the clean sheet? Corner comes in from Neves, diving header, that's Kirk Valia again.
I'd love to talk to Robbo about it afterwards. I mean, if he can have a look at the highlights of this, there must be days in a keeper you just think, no, you're not going to beat me. I don't feel we can beat me. I say that just now, and they might lose one in the last seconds, but that won't matter.
Nearly there for Georgia. Corner into the penalty area. Goal in the game between Turkey and Czech Republic. Maz Faruqi.
That makes second place in this group safe for Turkey. A second goal for them in the 4th minute of stoppage time at the end of the match in Hamburg. Cenk Tosun with that goal, and the Czech Republic players are slumped on the turf, Paul, because they've worked so hard, down a man for much of this match. The shirts are drenched with sweat, but Turkey looked to have stolen it right at the end.
Maz, I've got to jump in. Sorry, Paul, I've got to jump in because the full-time whistle has blown here, and Georgia have done it. They've beaten Portugal, and their substitutes have come streaming onto the pitch. They are picking the players up off the field. Mamardashvili on his back has been hauled to his feet by his teammates. They are hugging each other. They're in tears. They're in shock. They cannot believe it. That is one of the most incredible results you will ever see at a major tournament, and I don't think anyone really thought they could pull it off. And yes, Portugal made the changes tonight, and yes, Portugal were already through, but they are a world-class football team, and Georgia have put in a world-class performance to make the knockout stages at Euro 2024. And Pat, those are wonderful scenes to watch for Georgia and their fans.
And it's no exaggeration to say they are celebrating it as if they have won the competition. What a beautiful moment that was at the end of the game. I'm just so happy I was here to see that, to feel the emotion there, and the deservedness of it, because they fought, they battled, technically they were superb as well. You wouldn't want to play them in the next round. They were brilliant, and I don't hide the fact that I'm not against the Portuguese. They were my outside choice for the team to win this competition, but on the night there is a team over there who absolutely deserve to win this game of football. And it kind of, your heart glows in how beautiful football can be sometimes in a moment like this, and they will milk it, and they will milk it for a long, long time. Portuguese fans, by the way, they have stayed. They understand they're still in. They understand that, it's not their best performance, and they've got good players to come. But right now, in this moment, isn't it just great to see that? That is just heartwarming stuff to watch. That is an incredible performance that has led to an incredible result. It became possible right in the second minute of the game, because Portugal gave the ball away and Georgia took their chance superbly. Kvaratskhelia, fed by Mikatadze, he drove it into the bottom corner. They got themselves a penalty in the second half. That may have been debatable. It was still brilliantly stuck away, but it was more than that, this performance. It was an incredible effort from every single player that started, that came onto that pitch. It means that Georgia are through to the last 16 and they will play Spain. Portugal go through as the group winners and they will play Slovenia. And Turkey go through in second place. They will play Austria, and it means England will definitely be here on Sunday in Gelsenkirchen to face Slovakia at 5 o'clock in the last 16. I can't quite believe what we've seen tonight, Kelly Cates. Georgia have beaten Portugal by 2-0.
Alistair Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin bringing you the commentary of that huge upset. And Pat, with Georgia 74th in the world rankings, Portugal 6th in the world rankings, this is, by that measure, the biggest shock in European Championship history, and yet it didn't look that way on the pitch.
No, it's not a fluke. It's absolutely not a fluke. Not when you see tactically how they worked it out. The work rates they keep on talking about, but the quality of the players. There's some of the players in the team, and I hesitate before mentioning them because the names aren't easy, I have to say. But Kakabatse on the right hand side flying forward, Kutashvili on the left hand side doing exactly the same. Mikatadze, he scores his goal for the penalty kick, but him up the front alongside Kvaratskhelia, honestly, you would hate it. Any defender in the world, because the ball comes up to them strong, technically understand how to work with each other as a pair. The dribbling skills alone are a joy to watch. And I have to say, how often do you think, there's a player playing and I want to see him the ball, get him the ball again. I want to see him play because he's exciting. He's possibly going to make a chance, he's going to score a goal, and he's going to get everybody in the stadium up in their feet. And he really, he put Cristiano Ronaldo in the shade just this once, but he absolutely put him in the shade tonight. Tiny wee other thing, away from the joy and the fun, and by the way, they're still celebrating in front of the goal and all their fans. They're expecting a cup to be brought to them any minute now, I think. that is going to be a brilliant team photo. So Kelly, what they've done is they've lined up in the penalty area away to our right. They've got everyone there, all the players, the coaching staff, the manager, and then the photographers are taking the photo, and behind them, the background to that photo is thousands and thousands of celebrating Georgian fans. That
is going to be a photo for a lifetime.
Do you know the other thing, Kelly? And if anyone can get this other picture, there's another cracker. Just as the referee was walking off, he walked past Roberto Martinez about a yard away, and you have never seen a stonier-faced Roberto Martinez in your entire life. He gave him nothing. He gave him no look whatsoever. He will be furious with the referee, so will all the Portuguese. But in reality, I think it's incredibly hard to take anything away from the Georgians in this night of utter glory for them.
That scene that you were describing with the background of the Georgian fans over the advertising hoardings, they had a banner that read simply believe, and they have given their fans a team that they can believe in. Beautiful scenes in Gelsenkirchen, as described by Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce Ball. In Hamburg, slightly more chaotic end to the match. Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, winner from Cenk Tosun in the 94th minute, sealing the win for Turkey after that goal from Thomas Souček had made it 1-1. Remember, the Czech Republic played 70 minutes of this match with just 10 men. But Turkey, with this win, with this 2-1 win in Hamburg, ensure that they finish in second place in this group. But some unsavoury scenes at the full-time whistle, a big brawl really involving lots of players, and the referee once more dishing out plenty of cards. Producer Grace has been keeping count of them. We think it's 18 yellow cards, including those two, of course, for Anton and Barak, that then made a red 20 minutes in. Another red card at the end as well. Thomas Souček as well, the Czech Republic captain, booked as well. A bit of a difficult end to the match, Paul, and ultimately it was just the fact probably that Czech Republic ran out of steam, ran out of gas, having to play with a man down for so much of this match.
Yeah, well, that 18 yellow cards and 2 red cards, obviously that tells you a lot about the game, tells you how disjointed it was, tells you how broken up it was. But that was Czechia's game plan in the second half. You've got to give the Czech Republic a lot of credit for the way that they came out in the second half. They were down to 10 men, but they knew that if they lost, they were going out of this tournament. They went direct, they brought on Kucha, they brought on Corey, and they caused Turkey problems. And in all honesty, they had the majority of the ball in the second half, the Czech Republic, and Turkey held on. And it wasn't until late in the game when Tosun came on. It was a bit of a smash and grab. He was on the left-hand side of the box, cut in, fired a really good shot into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal, and that's when Turkey could celebrate.
So 2-1, it finishes to Turkey in Hamburg, and that means that Turkey, next up for them in the last 16, they play Austria. The Czech Republic are going home.
Yeah, obviously the result, the most important thing there. But as Paul and Maz have been telling us, it was absolute chaos in that game. 2 red cards, one of them coming in the melee at the final whistle, and 18 yellow cards between them. 7 of them went to the Czech Republic, 11 of them went to Turkey. But Turkey come away with the victory as they progress to the last 16 of the tournament. We'll be reflecting on a really busy day in the European Championships, and also reaching the end of the group stages, and we'll assess some of the best placed teams to go all the way in this tournament after the BBC News with Jill Mackenzie.